We'll have first pitch of Blue Jays Mariners next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, streaming on the Sportsnet app, sportsnet.ca, and across the Sportsnet radio network.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. On Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Sundays are for Junior Jays. Get to the ballpark early to enjoy outdoor activities before continuing the fun inside while you cheer on the Blue Jays.
If you're feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Pizza.ca. At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
The biggest names in NASCAR talk are now with SiriusXM.
Hey, this is Denny Hamlin, host of Actions Detrimental, driver of the number 11 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, and co-owner of 2311 Racing. Join me and my co-host Jared Allen every Monday for a recap of each NASCAR race from the driver's seat. We'll break down how my race went and hopefully ending in victory lane.
Hear Actions Detrimental plus every incredible podcast from Dirty Mo Media right now on the SiriusXM app.
And it's gone!
Jays fans, this is John Schneider, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
There's the exclamation point for all assembled here at Rogers Center.
Radio Network.
Righty Green steps on the rubber, looks in. Now he's set at his chest. The 0-2. Fastball lifted down the left field line. Long run Clement into foul territory, circles under it and makes the catch to win the game. The Blue Jays bend, but they do not break. From a 5-0 lead, they beat the Mariners 5-4 to even up the series.
You know, Carlos sending George on Vladdy's hit with no outs. That's kind of an underrated play, too. And then the bullpen making big pitches. You know, little getting Polanco there and Chad coming in to strike Raleigh out. You know, we've seen that script play out a different way with him. But just a lot of little things, I think, and we took advantage of some of their mistakes.
John Schneider talking about the fine margins that separated the Blue Jays from the Mariners yesterday. That's how this series has gone so far as we're about to start Game 3. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. 2 one-run games and probably another pitcher's duel coming up, Chris. It's a great matchup today. George Kirby against Jose Berrios.
First of all, I love that John Schneider gave a shout-out to Carlos Fablis because we talk about him pretty often. But it is a great pitching matchup today. George Kirby is one of my favorite guys to watch. He's a low walk, high strikeout guy, good velocity, sink on that fastball. And then you have Jose Berrios. I think Jose Berrios is still a very good pitcher. He's just leaving too many balls over the plate right now. 3 home runs in April, 6 home runs in May, and 8 home runs allowed in June. It's kind of creeping up, and watching him, I know that that's happening because he's just leaving too many balls over the plate, too many hittable pitches right now.
We'll see what he does about that today. Kirby will pitch first, though, and before we get to that action, let's go back to Baseball Control, where Show Ali and Jesse Rubinoff have more.
Thank you very much, Ben. Welcome back inside Baseball Control, everyone. Before we get to the Bet365 standings update and check out the lineups for both teams, let's bring on Jesse Rubinoff. And Jesse, a close one for the Blue Jays last night, 5-4. You just heard Chris talk about Jose Berrios. It's been a steady diet of fastballs all season long for the Mariners from basically every pitcher, both starter and reliever. But Kevin Gausman, 10 strikeouts, used the fastball a lot. Yariel Rodriguez yesterday used the fastball 59% of the time, and he got 6 strikeouts. What are you looking out for strikeout-wise and fastball usage-wise from Jose Berrios today?
Yeah, I think we're going to see the sinker or two-seamer a lot from Jose today. But what I'm really looking for is that the slurve gets back on track. We talked about in the pregame show that he's been leaving it out over the middle of the plate a lot, and it's been getting hammered a lot, and home runs have been the issue lately for Jose Berrios. So I'd be looking for the slurve to be outside the plate a little bit more, maybe that dive bomb movement that it usually has that has abandoned him a little bit in starts the last little while. So just fine tuning, but I expect a good start from Jose Berrios today.
Yeah, the slurve he has said it himself, is his bread and butter. So curious to see if he gets that back on track. But again, I do expect to see a lot of sinkers, a lot of four-seamers from Berrios today, who will take the mound against George Kirby. That's Jesse Rubinoff, and don't forget, he and I have Jays Talk tonight. Post-game show will follow the final out. I'll throw out the numbers for you to call, and you can text us anytime at 590-590. Name one location. The People's Text line is always open, including right now if you like. Let's check out the standings update, courtesy of Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game is still being played. 19+, play responsibly. Ontario only. So entering play today in the American League East, there are games going on right now, but the Orioles are 56-33. The Yankees are 55-36. The Red Sox are 48-40. The Rays are 44-45. And the Blue Jays are 40-49. Before we send you back over to Ben and Chris, let's get to the starting lineups. Here's John Schneider's lineup. George Springer is batting leadoff. He is in right field. Spencer Horwitz is at first base today. He is batting second. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is at third base, something we have not seen him do since the beginning of June. He is batting third. Batting cleanup is Justin Turner. He is DHing. Batting fifth is Bo Bichette. He is at shortstop. In left field is Dalton Varsho batting sixth. Batting seventh is Alejandro Kirk. He is catching today. Leo Jimenez is at second base batting eighth, and batting ninth is Kevin Kiermaier. He is in center field. Like we said, Jose Berrios will be on the mound for the Blue Jays. For the Mariners, J.P. Crawford is at shortstop. He is batting leadoff. Mitch Garver is DHing today. He is batting second. Behind the plate is Cal Raleigh. He is batting third. Luke Raley, who hit a dinger yesterday off of Chad Green. He is in left field batting cleanup. Ty France is batting fifth. He's at first base. Josh Rojas is batting sixth at third base. Jorge Polanco, we saw pinch hit yesterday, he is batting seventh at second base. Dominic Canzone is in right field batting eighth, and batting ninth is Victor Robles in center field. George Kirby, in his 101 strikeouts, is pitching for the Seattle Mariners today. All right, we're getting close to first pitch, so let's get you back over to the game with the call of the game. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. A rubber match about to start. The Blue Jays trying to win their first series since a mid-June series win over the Cleveland Guardians, and they're about to get set on a beautiful day in Seattle, Washington. First inning starts in a moment, and the first is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. George Springer, Spencer Horwitz, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will hit in the first inning for the Blue Jays. Umpiring in today's game will be Jordan Baker behind the plate. Stu Sherwater, the Regina, Saskatchewan native, is at first. Mark Carlson at second, and Dan Merzel at third base. The Blue Jays, Chris, came up with a fair number of hits yesterday. They scored 5 runs on 11 hits. There was some ups and some downs as they produced a lot, but also left a good handful of guys on base.
Well, that's a concern when you don't come up with the big hit with guys on base, less than 2 outs, even guys on base with 2 outs. Good teams come through in tough situations, especially with 2 outs. But the Blue Jays did score some runs. They came through in big situations against a relatively inexperienced pitcher. Today is going to be very, very different. George Kirby is an incredible pitcher. He's so fun to watch. He has 10 walks this season, 101 strikeouts. That's an incredible, such a hard ratio to do. And I expect a great pitching matchup today. I know that Jose Berrios has been kind of up and down recently, but I really expect him to have a good game today.
For George Kirby, who's just out on the mound starting his warm-up pitches, a 7-6 record, a 3.32 earned run average, in 18 starts. You mentioned the 101 strikeouts to only 10 walks. Kirby, who led Major League Baseball last year with over 9 strikeouts to walks, it has a strikeout to walk ratio of over 10 this season and continues to lead the majors in that stat. The 6'4" righty has been really good, like you mentioned. He hails from Rye, New York, kind of in the Westchester area, just a little bit north of New York City. A 6'4", 215-pound right-hander who was drafted 20th overall by the Mariners out of Elon, a school in North Carolina. This is his 3rd Major League season. Blue Jays did see Kirby once earlier this year and have seen him twice in his career. In the start at Rogers Center on April the 9th, Toronto had 8 hits on Kirby in 4 innings, scored 5 runs, and ended up winning that game. Bo Bichette, George Springer, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa played a big part in that, but Kirby has really locked in since that start. Speaking of George Springer, he's in the box right now chatting with Cal Raleigh as we're about to get underway in the top of the first. Game 3 of this series. Blue Jays won yesterday. Mariners won the opener. Time called in by Jordan Baker behind the plate, and Kirby shrugs his shoulders before getting into the wind. The right-hander steps to his left, kicks and fires, and the first pitch is hit well left field, but right at Luke Raley. 1 pitch, 1 out. Time of the first pitch today is 4:12 Eastern, 1:12 Pacific, 28 Celsius, 83 Fahrenheit, and another very sunny day in Seattle.
I think the Blue Jays game plan is just going to be ready to hit. You know he's going to be around the strike zone. You know he's going to throw a lot of pitches over the heart of the plate, so just be ready to swing the bat.
Blue Jays did not walk once in that outing that Kirby had this year at Rogers Center, but managed to score 5 runs. Here's Spencer Horwitz with 1 out and the bases empty. Today's first baseman faces the first pitch and takes it at the knees. Strike 1. Horwitz batting .311 on the season in 25 games, 3 doubles and 3 homers. The 0-1. Foul tipped the slider back, and it's 0-2. That one actually popped out of the glove of Raleigh, so that won't be a foul tip strike, but it's a foul ball, and it's 0-2. Deep mix for Kirby. Here's his 2-strike pitch. Swing and a liner headed to left field. That's a base hit. Spencer Horwitz reaches below the zone and shoots a curveball the other way to start off the Blue Jays offensive day. A runner on with 1 out.
He is so good at going the other way, and I think that's going to be a big part of the game today, because George Kirby can locate all over the strike zone, and he'll probably throw a lot of pitches to the outside part of the plate. The Blue Jays and Spencer Horwitz really have to try to hit that ball the other way.
Horwitz is on, and here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as Let's Go Blue Jays chants start at T-Mobile Park. From the stretch, Kirby's pitch. High, ball 1. For Kirby, it's a hard 4-seam fastball, just through a 97-mile-per-hour sinker. Also has a slider, a splitter, and a knuckle curve. Righty tucks the ball into his glove just above his belt. A look at first, and the 1-0. Right at the knees, strike 1.
Man, that's so impressive. Mid to upper 90s fastball. It has run on it, and he commands it like nobody else.
All-star last year in his 2nd season, first full Major League season. The 1-1. Guerrero breaks his bat on a bouncer up the middle and through into center field. Just found the hole in between Polanco at second and Crawford at short. Horwitz advances to second. It's a hit for Guerrero and 2 on for the Blue Jays.
And that was a perfect swing. I know he broke his bat. I know he got it off the end of the bat there, but that's really all he could do with that pitch. Didn't try to do too much with it. Just hit that bouncer right up the middle. Snuck it through the second baseman and the shortstop there. Now the Blue Jays are in business.
And it's a welcome back now to Justin Turner. Back in the Blue Jays lineup after a 3-day stint on the paternity list. Turner's the DH.
A couple more gray hairs in that beard now.
Maybe a couple sleepless nights for Turner. Blue sunglasses on. He looks out at Kirby, who peeks at second. Kicks and fires. Check swing, bouncer foul into the brick backstop. 0-1. Turner batting .250 on the year, 15 doubles, 5 homers, and 27 RBIs. Horwitz on second and Guerrero on first. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a foul ball off to the right into the seats. 0-2.
And just to be clear, his son was born in Toronto, not California, right?
Yes.
Cool.
I don't know how citizenship laws exactly work, but I think potentially Canadian. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 97 just above the zone, and that's Kirby's first strikeout of the day.
I mean, that is just nasty right there. You could see the target above the strike zone, and George Kirby just, I mean, he hit that target like it was nothing at 97 miles an hour.
26 years old, the 6'4" righty has 2 outs now, but is dealing with 2 runners on. No score, top of the first. Here's Bo Bichette. Horwitz leading off second and Guerrero off first. Kirby in the set, looks at Horwitz. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Bo batting .225 on the year, 15 doubles, 4 homers, 30 RBIs. Bichette ready now for the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a foul ball over the netting off to the right. 0-2. Blue Jays with a pair of singles in this inning, trying to take an early lead. George Kirby, true to form, has thrown 11 strikes in 12 pitches. His 0-2. Way outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bichette wheels the bat around and brings it above his right shoulder, looking out at the righty Kirby. The 1-2. Down and away again. Good take by Bichette, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's 4 sliders in a row from George Kirby. I would imagine he's not going to throw 5, so Bo can probably look for something hard here, but I guess you never know.
Does have a curveball in his back pocket as well. Bichette will ask for time, granted emphatically by Jordan Baker behind the plate. Bo adjusts his white batting glove, steps back into the box, and kicks some dirt away. Hiked up gray pant legs for Bichette. Blue Jays in their deep blue uniforms. 2-2 count, 2 outs and 2 runners on. No score, top of the first. Kirby with a look at second. Kicks and fires. Up and in. He did go with something hard there. You were right. It's full count.
Missed that target just a little bit. Cal Raleigh was set up on the inside part. He threw it above the strike zone. Still such an effective pitch. Bo jumps back out of the way.
Was 98. Runners will get a head start now with a 3-2 count and 2 outs. Horwitz on second and Guerrero on first. The payoff pitch. Swing and a foul off to the right. Bo got the hands inside a 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
And normally when you look at a guy's stats like this, you think, oh, low walks, okay strikeout rate. You probably think he's 90 to 93, somewhere around there. George Kirby can run it up there.
Another 3-2 from Kirby. High ball 4, 99, but a good take by Bichette, and the bases are loaded. More Let's Go Blue Jays at T-Mobile Park. Dalton Varsho at the plate. 2 outs and the bases loaded. Top of the first. No score. The right on left pitch. Just outside, ball 1. Kirby has given up a .246 average to left-handed hitters, better than what he allows to righties. 1-0. Outside again, 2-0. Already seeing one rare walk from Kirby in this game, just his 11th of the year, and now he falls behind Varsho.
Yeah, a guy like Kirby doesn't want to walk more than one guy, so I would imagine he'll get something over the heart of the plate right here.
Nowhere to put Varsho either with the bases loaded. The 2-0 pitch. Foul tipped into the glove. Strike 1. When you look at that lefty-righty split, not only is it .246 average for lefty hitters to .220 for righties against Kirby, 8 of the 11 home runs he's allowed have come to lefty swingers. Kirby kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Got Varsho to chase a pitch that was just off the plate outside. Blue Jays left 13 on yesterday. They have the bases loaded here in the first. 2 outs and a 2-2 count to Varsho. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball. Right center field. Charging in Canzone makes the catch. The right fielder ends the inning. The Blue Jays come up with 2 hits and a walk, but no runs. They leave the bases loaded, and we will go to the bottom of the first in a scoreless game. Jose Berrios takes the mound next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
Hey, this is David Schneider. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Jose Berrios drawing in the dirt on the back of the mound before his 19th start of the season. Blue Jays in Seattle, scoreless game between Toronto and Seattle. Bottom of the first. Berrios' first pitch to J.P. Crawford is called strike 1. Jose Berrios is 8-6 this year with a .363 earned run average, 77 strikeouts to 28 walks in 109 innings. 0-1. Swing and a miss, and Berrios quickly ahead of Crawford, 0-2. J.P. Crawford, the left-handed hitting shortstop's a .210 hitter with 7 home runs. Berrios takes a breath, rocks and deals. Check swing on a high pitch, appeal to third. He went around, says Dan Merzel. It's a 3-pitch strikeout for Berrios to start his day.
Well, that was a great pitch right there. You could see Alejandro Kirk standing up. They were going for J.P. Crawford's hands there, and he hit his spot. J.P. Crawford couldn't hold the bat up.
That was the 4-seam fastball from Berrios. Will also throw a sinker and a cutter, a slurve, and a change. His pitch to Mitch Garver. Hit on the ground up the middle sharply and into center field, a base hit. Sinker left over the middle, and Garver jumped on it for the first Mariners knock of the day.
That's not a bad pitch there. You mean, not a terrible thing throwing that pitch down the middle. Mitch Garver just hits it right back up the middle. A little single. I would rather Jose Berrios throw strikes early on in this ballgame than try to nibble.
Berrios has only thrown strikes through 4 pitches. Here's Cal Raleigh, the switch hitter, batting left. Runner on first, 1 out. A peek at first, and Berrios' pitch. Outside with the slurve. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali's our host, Nick Blackmore's our producer, and Tom Young, our technical director. The 1-0. Hit back foul behind home plate. Cal Raleigh was 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk and 2 strikeouts. He's a .201 hitter with 15 home runs and 51 RBIs. 1-1. Is lifted down the left field line. That one will get out of play, foul again. Kirk nodding his head. He liked the spot. 1-2. It was a sinker from Berrios that started over the plate and ran off the plate outside from the lefty hitter Raleigh.
And this is the situation in a 1-2 count to Cal Raleigh where I would love to see an effective back foot slider, back foot slurve right here. Jose Berrios has struggled with that recently.
Kirk sets up inside. The 1-2 is a fastball just inside, and 97 from Berrios. You're not going to see much harder than that coming out of the righty's arm.
No, that missed by about a hair. That was a great pitch. I think Cal Raleigh was actually surprised by that pitch.
The 2-2. Fastball inside again. That one was a little further off the plate. Now it's a full count. Mitch Garver with no stolen bases leads off first. 1 out, and the 3-2. Raleigh swings and lifts the ball to right field. In foul territory. Long run for the second baseman Leo Jimenez, but that gets maybe 8-9 rows into the crowd, and it's still a full count.
That was a changeup right there. Not a bad pitch, 3-2, especially to Cal Raleigh, who's going to probably be out in front of that pitch, expecting something hard. If that pitch was down, that was about thigh high. If that was down, Cal Raleigh would have swung right through it.
Instead, though, a foul ball, and now a new baseball for Berrios. He's palming it up just beside the rubber. Now he steps on. Twists his hips to look at first, now set at the belt. The payoff. Called strike 3, 98 on the inside edge, and there are 2 down.
Well, you can definitely tell that Jose Berrios is feeling it today. He's thrown a couple at 97. That one right there, right on the inside part of the plate on the black at 98 miles an hour. Cal Raleigh doesn't even swing the bat. That's a rare one.
For Berrios, maybe feeling a little extra fresh. He only threw 60 pitches in his last start. Here's Luke Raley, a left-handed hitter, the pitch. Called strike 1. Raley's been all over the place in the field in this series. He starts in left today. Batting .253, hit his 10th homer of the season off Chad Green in yesterday's game. 0-1. Misses outside with the change. Knees slightly bent for Raley, who holds his bat a little bit off his chest and a slight waggle over his left shoulder. 1-1. Popped up out of play. 1-2.
He's really locating well on the inside part of the plate to lefties right now. That's something that he knows that he has to do. We saw that from Chris Bassett early on, really struggling throwing that fastball into lefties. Jose Berrios is dotting that thing up right now.
He's ripping it too. That last fastball, 97. Garver on first, 2 outs, no score. Bottom of the first, the pitch. Slurve, froze him, strike 3. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Jose Berrios. Around a 1-out single by Mitch Garver, and it's a scoreless game going to the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, it's Megyn Kelly from The Megyn Kelly Show.
Get closer to the stories of the day from every angle. Political.
It's over. She's not going to be the vice president.
Legal.
If they don't stand up against this, they're complicit.
Social.
We're not allowed to weigh in on their controversial behavior or just say we don't like them.
Honest, common sense conversations with no fear.
The Megyn Kelly Show, weekdays at noon East on SiriusXM Triumph Channel 111.
And on the SiriusXM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. We're back on the track Sunday,
1:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Great American Getaway 400, presented by VisitPA.com.
From Pocono Raceway on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, in the car, and on the all-new SiriusXM app. Get closer to everything that moves you, wherever you are, with the SiriusXM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yeah!
The final major championship of 2024 is coming, and you can hear all the action on SiriusXM.
Up toward the hole, has a chance, and it goes! Rory McIlroy with an overhand fist bump!
Coverage of the 152nd Open Championship begins Monday, July 15th, with play-by-play beginning Thursday, July 18th on Open Radio.
He's holding the big one! Brian Harman is the champion golfer of the year!
Hear the 2024 Open Championship on Channel 92 when you're in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
The Sportsnet Radio Network.
No score at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Welcome to the second inning. Alejandro Kirk leading off for the Blue Jays against George Kirby. 6'4" righty takes a breath, gets into the wind. Here's his pitch. High, ball one. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Alejandro Kirk hitting .214 on the year. Drove in a couple yesterday. Now has 21 RBIs on the season. 1-0. Swing and a foul off to the right and out of play. 1-1. What a day it was yesterday for Alejandro Kirk. 2 singles and a double plus a sac fly. Drove in a pair. 1-1 pitch. Check swing. Pitch was high, but he went around. It's 1-2.
And it wasn't even the 3-for-4 day that was the most impressive thing. He hit the ball on the screws 4 separate times. That is probably his best day of the season, in my opinion.
Matched his season high, the 3 hits. First time he's done it since April. 1-2. Check swing. He went around again on a pitch down and away. That's a strikeout for Kirby, his second of the start. The second inning is presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Leo Jimenez steps into the box for his 3rd Major League plate appearance in his 2nd career game. Today playing second base. The pitch. Inside, ball one. Talk about being thrown into the deep end. He debuts against Framber Valdez, and now he's facing off with George Kirby. Holds the bat high above his right shoulder. 1-0. Called strike on the outside edge.
Well, he does look pretty confident up there, and I know that in AAA this season he has a .416 on base percentage. That's a good sign that he's ready for the big leagues.
1-1. Swing and a liner headed to center field. That's a base hit. Whole dugout up on their feet. Somebody keep that baseball. Leo Jimenez has his first major league hit, and he gets a hug from Mark Budzinski.
And that's got to feel good. Such a good pitch from George Kirby. A slider right on the outside part of the plate. And like I said, Leo Jimenez seems like he's ready for the big leagues. Didn't try to do too much with that pitch. Just hit a nice little line drive into center field. All smiles over there at first base.
Getting his lead off now as Kevin Kiermaier comes up with 1 out. Top of the second, no score. Turn and throw over to first, and Jimenez gets back in. He got his first major league walk in his last start, but obviously the first major league hit, an even bigger milestone. Right on left, the pitch to Kiermaier. Swing and a foul off to the left.
He almost got his first major league pickoff, too.
I mean, it's a smart move by Kirby, I think. A guy just picks up his hit. Maybe he's a little bit amped up right now. Perhaps throw over. But Jimenez, not a huge stolen base guy. Stole 3 bases, was caught once in 57 AAA games this year. 0-1 to Kiermaier is right at the top of the zone. Strike 2.
Yeah, he only has 25 career stolen bases. Not a huge threat over there, but I wouldn't be surprised.
George Kirby in the set just above his belt. A look at first. One more peek in the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's the splitter from Kirby, which I don't believe we had seen yet until now. He gets Kiermaier for his 3rd strikeout, 2nd of this inning.
And that is just disgusting stuff right there. Such a tough at-bat for Kevin Kiermaier. You're expecting 98 with good run, and then he just flips that split in there. Looks like a fastball. Looks like a fastball out of the hands, and then it just dives out of the strike zone.
Here's George Springer with a runner on first and 2 outs. No score, top of 2, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. It's just such a deep mix for Kirby. 2 different fastballs, 2 different breaking balls, and that off-speed pitch, the splitter, plus a seldom used cutter that he'll flip in every once in a while. The 0-1. Springer hits it off the end of the bat into the netting behind home plate, foul. 0-2.
I think the one thing that's keeping George Kirby from being the Justin Verlander types, the super elite pitchers of the league, is that slider. It's a pretty average slider.
It's interesting you say that because his other breaking pitch, the curve, he's actually tweaked recently, perhaps trying to find more from his breaking stuff. The 0-2. Way high. Ball 1. Couple games ago, 2 starts ago on June 25th, Kirby introduced a new grip to his knuckle curveball to try to find something that was a little bit more north-south rather than east-west. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball barely outside. 2-2. For Kirby, he said it's a grip that he had used in the past and kind of one that he commandeered from Zach Gallen as well, which is a pretty good guy to learn from.
And he does have that high arm slot, so it's probably easy for him to get on top of it.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Puts the fastball by Springer. 3 strikeouts in the inning. Leo Jimenez comes up with a single. He's left on first, but has his first major league hit. It's a scoreless game, middle of 2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
So, you want to be a Looney Dogger, eh? Every Tuesday Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Grab $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Plus, stop by the Schneider's Porch, your hot dog headquarters. The destination for a one-of-a-kind hot dog experience with excellent ballpark views. So, whether you're the relish ringleader or 7th-inning snacker, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. Don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's building center. Visit timbermart.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
IKF slams the ball down the left field line, way back and gone.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the second, Blue Jays in Seattle. A rubber match that's scoreless so far. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Hope your Sunday's going well. Jose Berrios back on the mound. Pitches to Ty France. A swing and a miss. Strike one. France, a .228 hitter this year. 11 doubles, 8 homers, and 29 runs batted in. He plays first. Sunglasses on, looking out at Berrios. Checks his swing on the 0-1. Appeal down to first. And he did go around. It's 0-2. Three strikeouts for the righty in the first inning. His 2-strike pitch. Bounced the slurve. This time, France wouldn't chase. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We haven't really seen a great slurve from Jose Berrios this year. I think we've seen a lot of spinners, a lot of cement mixers over the middle. That's where he gets into trouble. He leaves those breaking balls over the middle. So I'm seeing some good ones today. That's a good sign.
1-2 pitch is a fastball called a ball. That really looked like it was a strike. It looked like it was right at the knees, but instead it's 2-2. And he missed a spot. He had Kirk reaching across the plate, but it certainly looked pretty good. Now the 2-2. Changeup misses low, full count.
Yeah, you mentioned Kirk reaching across the plate. We've seen that a lot. Umpires tend to not call those pitches strikes when they miss their spot and the catcher reaches across the plate. But that was a great pitch right there. Should have been strike 3.
Payoff pitch is lined right side past the first baseman Horwitz into right field, a base hit. Tonight is the night that 10 Blue Jays fans will have their lives changed when 10 winning numbers are drawn at midnight. Jays Cares take-home jackpot is now approaching $1.8 million, which means each winner will take home almost $180,000 apiece. There might not be another chance like this again. Get your tickets before midnight at bluejays.com/5050 from Ontario or Nova Scotia. Josh Rojas is up, batting left. Runner on first. The pitch. Changeup for strike 1. Calls will be placed tomorrow to inform winners of the 50-50 raffle that they are taking home the prize. 0-1. Just inside.
$180,000.
So I will say the live, I don't want to overquote. The live full jackpot is $1,765,500. So that would be $176,000 and change. 1-1. Inside, and Rojas stumbles over as he tried to back out of the way of that cutter.
Still a nice little payday.
Certainly.
And that is tax-free. That's the best part. Well, that's not the best part, but that's a perk for sure.
It's about the second best part. The best part's the money, and then the second best part is that it's all yours. Berrios kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. Good sinker that dropped below the zone. Rojas nodding his head as he just waved over it. 2-2. Josh Rojas at third for a third straight game. .257 hitter, 14 doubles, 4 homers. A peek over at first base at Ty France, and the 2-2 pitch. Fastball called strike 3. Rojas jumping around. He didn't like the call. He might have a point as it looked a little inside, but still a strong pitch from Berrios. His 4th strikeout already.
Yeah, it might have been a hair inside, but again, Alejandro Kirk is so good at stealing those strikes. He catches that pitch, brings the glove over maybe an inch and a half, and it looked way better than what it was, but still, that was a great pitch. 96.
Berrios now deals to Jorge Polanco, the switch hitter batting left. Takes strike 1. Polanco entered as a pinch hitter yesterday, gets his first start of the series today. In his first year with Seattle, he struggled, batting .194, 5 home runs. A look at first at France, and with 1 out, the 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Berrios kicks the back of his spikes into the dirt on the mound and now steps on the rubber. A breath, a peek at first, and the 0-2. Just high. Polanco in as they've loaded up on lefties and switch hitters against Berrios. All 4 bats on the bench for Scott's service are pure right-handed hitters. 1-2. Lifted down the left field line and into the seats.
You could tell that Jose Berrios is feeling good today. He's hopping around the mound, walking with all kinds of confidence. I mean, it's showing. He's been 95 to 97 miles an hour. We even saw 98 mile an hour fastball from Jose Berrios.
That is not the norm from the righty. 1-2. Just outside with the changeup. Berrios averages about 94 this year. His four-seam fastball specifically is up on average about 2 miles an hour so far today. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him on the change. All 5 outs for Berrios so far have been by way of the K.
Such an awkward swing from Jorge Polanco way out in front of that changeup. That looked like a split finger almost. 88 miles an hour. That's a hard changeup from Jose Berrios, but really good downward action on it.
I don't know if it's the good weather today or something, but he is really firing right now. The pitch to Dominic Canzone. This is way upstairs with the slurve.
Must be that Seattle humidity.
The humidity helps?
I don't know. I don't think there's humidity.
I was going to say it's not that humid today, but I wasn't going to mention it. Runner on first, 2 down. No score, bottom of the second, the 1-0. Canzone hits it on the ground softly to second base. Picked up there by Jimenez. He'll backhanded flip to Bichette at second to end the inning. A leadoff single allowed by Berrios. He strikes out a pair and keeps the Mariners scoreless through 2. It's a scoreless game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts fast?
Hey, you! Yeah, you! The one that's listening to the Blue Jays baseball game with us. Please check and see if you've subscribed. If you haven't yet, please help us. Let's make this sub counter go crazy. Make this sub counter go up, and let's bring more people into this awesome Toronto sports community. Thanks for being here during this Blue Jays game. If you're a Blue Jays fan, we're gonna pick it. We're gonna pick it up. We're gonna turn it around this season. Let's go Blue Jays, and everybody else that's here, welcome. Good luck to your team, but God, our Jays need some wins. Back to the baseball. Cheers, everybody.
Starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Runner going, throw down to second. They got him.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the 3rd inning in Seattle. Scoreless ball game. Blue Jays and Mariners. It's been a low-scoring series, and it looks like we might have another one on our hands here as they try to decide this 3-game set. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Spencer Horwitz swings at the first pitch of the inning and fouls it back. 0-1.
Well, I think we expected a little bit of a pitcher's duel. A little bit, maybe flip a coin with Jose Berrios, but George Kirby has just been nasty all day long.
Blue Jays do have 3 hits in 2 innings off Kirby, plus a walk. Horwitz had one of those. He singled to left in the first. 0-1. Check swing. Pitch was down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Horwitz's average up to 320 after his knock in the first. Hit a curveball below the knees. The 1-1. Called strike. Might have been a hair off the outside edge, but a pretty good pitch by Kirby to get ahead 1-2.
He's starting to get some respect around the league. That was 2 changeups in a row from George Kirby, a guy that throws 98 miles an hour.
Kirby flapping his glove. Now comes still on the 1-2. Inside. Horwitz jumped out of the way of 97. I could be wrong, but that glove flap, he's kind of pulsing the glove back and forth. I believe that Ryan Dempster had a little bit of a similar quirk, and at least in Dempster's case, it was so that he didn't tip his pitches.
Yeah, I would imagine it's the same reason for George Kirby. He has that split finger that he doesn't want to dig with.
2-2. Swing and a hot shot to second. Picked up on one bounce by Polanco. He throws to first, 1 out. So is the idea there that by waving your glove around, guys can't see you flipping the grip around?
Well, yeah, so if you're doing that every single pitch, regardless, because he starts with that split grip. He puts the split grip inside of his glove, and he doesn't want the batter or the dugout to see him moving that forearm, because you can see the forearm flexing if you're changing the pitch, and if he's flapping every single pitch, you can't see him changing his pitch grip.
Here's his first pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who also singled in the first. He takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Guerrero once again approaching 300 after the single at 297. The wind and the 1-0. Outside, no. Called strike. 1-1. Looked outside, but Kirby gets a break. Righty brings his glove behind his head, now in front of his stomach. Shrugs his shoulders, twists, and deals. Swinging a bouncing ball hit to short. Picked up there by Crawford, who throws strong on to first. 2 down. The third inning is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Falmouth and Cambridge, Nova Scotia. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com. Canada's #1 rust protection.
Did you say Falmouth?
Yeah, I was going to say, before you get excited, not Falmouth, Massachusetts, where you played your Cape Cod ball. Justin Turner's up with 2 outs. Kirby's pitch. Called strike 1.
In the Cape Cod League, of course, you are loyal to Chatham. I am very loyal to Falmouth.
It's fair. Different divisions in the league.
It doesn't matter. It's a small league.
It is. Yeah, it's only 10 teams. The 0-1 to Turner. At the knees, called strike 2. George Kirby, a Harwich Mariner in the Cape Cod League in 2018. Fits as he's now a Seattle Mariner. 0-2. High, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you know what else I love about George Kirby? He went to a mid-major college. He went to Elon. Elon used to be in, so I went to Winthrop, which is in the Big South. Elon used to be in the Big South. They grew up a little bit. I forget where they are now, but they graduated from the Big South. But still, a mid-major college. I love to see that.
1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He gets Turner, and the former Colonial Athletic Association pitcher of the year walks off the mound with another strikeout, his 5th of the game. Scoreless ball game, middle of the 3rd. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Don't miss a box office Euro 2024 semifinal on Sirius XM.
Marino for Spain! Have we just witnessed the winning moment?
The 2 most successful European nations of the 21st century clash for a place in the final as Spain faces off against France.
Teo Hernandez, and he scores, and France wins!
It's the semifinals of the Euros, Tuesday at 3 Eastern on Fox Sports Channel 83 and streaming on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your Sirius XM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on Sirius XM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. Sirius XM Sports. We're more than just a game.
Nobody covers the National Football League like SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Mahomes fires it late for the end zone. Caught! Touchdown!
Stay updated with the latest news leading up to training camps.
We don't care about expectations. Talk doesn't win games.
Our panel of experts is getting you ready for the 2024 season.
The more I watch this guy, the more I like him.
There's a story for every team on Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Don't strike out on your next home improvement project. Your team at Timbermart has the great advice and the products you need, so you'll get the job done right. Knock it out of the park and win the day with Timbermart, Canada's building center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you tuning in today. Victor Robles is going to lead off this inning, the 9-hitter. And before we get underway, Alejandro Kirk's having some pitch comm issues. They were about to start, but I don't think Kirk was either hearing his own signals or able to communicate properly with Jose Berrios. Berrios is also trying to get the umpire's attention for a new baseball. A lot going on before the bottom of the third.
Well, Alejandro Kirk wasn't really very speedy walking back to that dugout to get a new pitch comm, I'll tell you that much.
Hey, they don't have a pitch clock timer on that. You can walk all the way there. Robles now in the box. Berrios looking in, kicks and fires. Outside, ball one. Victor Robles, a longtime Washington National, member of the 2019 World Series team. Now playing for the first time away from the Nationals. 1-0. Swinging a fly ball, deep left field. And that ball is into the upper deck, a home run. Robles takes it out of the yard with authority. 424 feet to put the Mariners in front 1-0.
Well, Jose Berrios actually hit his spot with that pitch. Alejandro Kirk was set up on the inside part of the plate, almost off the plate. Jose Berrios hit the spot. Victor Robles just drilled that thing, got the barrel through, and hit it into the upper deck in left field.
For Robles, it's his first home run of the year, and in turn, first home run in his Mariners career. He's a guy with only 31 career home runs, now 32. That's got to be one of the hardest hit ones he's ever had. First pitch to J.P. Crawford outside, 1-0.
I don't know how he got the hands through, actually. That was on the black, on the inside part, a sinker.
One-0 pitch. Fouled off.
Sometimes you just have to wonder if guys are guessing, if guys are cheating. Who knows what Robles did there, but he got the hands through, that's for sure.
He gives the Mariners an early lead. 1-0 Seattle over Toronto. No outs, bottom of the third. 1-1. J.P. Crawford takes inside. Berrios mostly cruised through the first 2 innings. Did give up a single in each of those frames, but struck out 5. The 2-1. Check swing on a changeup low. Appeal to third. He did not go around, says Dan Merzel. 3 balls and 1 strike. One of the 5 Berrios strikeouts in the first 2 frames was J.P. Crawford. He struck him out on 3 pitches. Here's the 3-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Kirk. Full count.
Yeah, you have to fill up the zone now. You don't want to walk a guy that's hitting 210. Throw that sinker down in the zone, see what he can do with it.
And Crawford is patient. His 35 walks are tied for second on the Mariners. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He got him to chase on a back foot slurve, maybe his best slurve today.
Yeah, and a 3-2 count. I don't know if I'm throwing that pitch, but that was a great pitch. That back foot slurve, that was about as good as it gets right there for Jose Berrios. Looked more like a 1-2 slurve than a 3-2 slurve.
Maybe some reverse psychology. Crawford thinking he's got to throw me a strike, and Berrios gets him to chase. 1 out now. Mitch Garver up. 178 hitter, singled in the first, and he takes the first pitch outside here. 1-0. 1-0 lead for Seattle. 1 out, bases empty. Home half of the third inning. Berrios rocks back and deals. Bouncing ball hit to third base. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. field. Strong throw to first, just in time. That wasn't the hardest hit ball, and Vlad fielded it deep. But he showed off that arm that was raved about when he was coming up through the system, and there are 2 down.
Did you like that?
I liked it. What did you think?
I mean, it was an easy ground ball, a little Sunday hop for Vlad, but he showed off that arm like you said. That was a bullet across the diamond.
Beat Garver by half a step, and now Cal Raleigh coming up with the Mariners up 1-0, 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd. The pitch. Hopped up behind home plate. Into the stands, 0-1. Raleigh's been going through it a little bit as of late. In 8 games coming into this one, batting in the 170s with 17 strikeouts in those 8 games. Struck out already today. 0-1 pitch is lined to right field, a base hit. Reaches out for a changeup off the plate away, and sends it into right for his first knock of the game.
Well, like we mentioned a couple times in this series, once you get ahead to Cal Raleigh, you have to expand. He's a guy that will swing and miss a lot. And when you get ahead with that first strike, you can elevate, you can bounce one, you can bury that pitch, and he's probably going to swing at that.
Berrios did have that off the plate outside, but maybe left the changeup a little higher than intended. So a 2-out runner for the Mariners. It's Raleigh on first, and the pitch to Raley. Outside. Luke Raley's been a force in this series. The solo homer yesterday, the 2-run double the day before. (1-0). Bounced back to the mound, picked up by the Gold Glover Berrios. He'll throw to first and end the inning. 2 hits for the Mariners and 1 run. They take the lead on Victor Robles' first home run in a Seattle uniform. It's 1-0 Seattle after 3. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The NBA world descends on Sin City, and NBA Radio has you covered for every second of Summer League.
Connect, goes strong to the basket, scores, and he's fouled. Just what the doctor ordered.
We're bringing you courtside with the decision makers and legends of the game.
The Hall of Famer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
The Lakers, they have AD. He's awesome.
Hear live coverage from Summer League starting Friday on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Hey Insiders, thanks for joining us for another Toronto Blue Jays game. Please make sure you've hit that like button down below. Click out of the chat for a second. Hit that like button and help this stream grow and get more Blue Jays fans here to hang out with us live during the game. This community is absolutely insane. It has grown like crazy, and I know that it will only continue to grow because of what you guys do as well as what I'm doing. So thank you so much. Please share this out to your friends. Please make sure that like is clicked, and let's get back to the baseball. Let's go Blue Jays. Finish strong.
And on the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
And the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 4th inning is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 18 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Mariners up 1-0. Bo Bichette leading off for the Blue Jays. George Kirby winds and offers. Swing, and Bichette shoots it to right field. Moving back, it's over the head of the right fielder Canzone, and it one-hops the wall. Bo Bichette jumps on a first pitch sinker and hits an automatic double. That's his 16th double of the year.
And that is vintage Bo Bichette right there. Goes down and gets that mid-90s fastball and drills it over Dominic Canzone in right field. That's got to feel good for him. That is one of his best swings in at least the last little while.
That was a liner that deep. That ball didn't actually get that high. Canzone did break in a step, and then it got over his head as he tried to move back. Runner on second, nobody out. The pitch to Dalton Varsho. Outside, ball 1. Best chance for the Blue Jays since the first inning when they loaded the bases with 2 outs. Varsho was up in that spot and flied out to right field. Corners are a little bit in case he bunts. Middle infield back. 1-0. Bunt shown, and it's put down in fair territory back to the mound. Picked up by Kirby. He'll throw to first. Bichette up to third. I don't know if that was meant to be a base hit or a pure sacrifice, but it works out as a sac bunt for Dalton Varsho.
Yeah, I think that was one of those in between. He wasn't totally trying to take it with him for a base hit. He squared around, but as soon as that pitch kind of crossed home plate, you could see him angle that bat towards first base. That's a great sac / base hit attempt for a bunt right there. Now the tying run is at third base.
1-0 Mariners, top of the 4th. Alejandro Kirk about to come up. Cal Raleigh is talking right now with George Kirby on the mound. Infield has moved in for the Mariners. Kirk coming off a big day in which he drove in a pair, struck out to start his day in this one on a slider in the second. Kirk taps the plate once and brings his bat up high. Kirby working from the stretch, flaps his glove, now comes still. And the pitch. Swing and a foul back into the netting. 0-1. That was an elevated fastball. Kirk likely to go after pitches up here to try to hit a fly ball at least. The 0-1. Check swing on a breaking ball down and away. He did not go around, although he had to use his full body to hold himself back. Stumbled over the plate a little bit. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that's a good take right there. He knows what he has to do. I don't have to tell him what he has to do if I'm John Schneider. Like you said, he's trying to lift the baseball. He's trying to drive something in the gap.
1-1. Outside with a fastball. Tough take. It's 2-1.
But at the same time, easier said than done, especially with a guy like George Kirby on the mound.
Kirk's driven in 21 runs this season. Bichette leading off third in foul territory. The 2-1 pitch. He went around on a breaking ball down and away, and it's 2-2. Tried to hold up again, but this time he couldn't.
Yeah, now you really have to cut down on that swing. Try to put the ball in play. At this point, you're not trying to lift the baseball. You're just trying to put the ball in play. You cannot strike out here. Striking out right here is the worst thing that can happen.
Bichette's got decent speed at third. He could be going on contact with 1 out. We'll see. 1-0 Mariners, top of the 4th. Raleigh sets up away. The 2-2. Bounced it down and away. Picked by Raleigh. Full count. Rookie Leo Jimenez is taking swings on deck. Bo Bichette's leading off third. It's 1-0 Seattle, top of the 4th. Right on right, the pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Swing and a liner, center field, caught in center by Robles. Bichette will tag, throw coming to the plate, offline and late. Bo slides in. It's a sacrifice fly for Kirk in a 1-1 game.
Well, he hit that ball on the screws yet again. Almost too hard. But a good swing from Alejandro Kirk, and now the game is tied 1-1.
Kirk hit a ball 109 miles an hour yesterday. He hits that one 107 miles an hour. So 2 of his top 5 hardest hit balls of the season have come in the last 2 days. And he comes through for the Blue Jays. 2 outs, bases empty. Leo Jimenez rolls the first pitch he sees to short. Picked up by Crawford. Quick sling to first. And that'll end the inning. Leadoff double by Bo Bichette. Dalton Varsho bunts him over, and Alejandro Kirk knocks him in. It's a 1-1 game, middle of the 4th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
So, you want to be a loony dogger, eh? Are you the relish ringleader, seventh inning snacker, TikTok topper, or ketchup king? Every Tuesday, Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneiders. You'll have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Then show the world your Looney Dog style. Because whether you're the home run hound or value virtuoso, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. So don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneiders. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Green kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. They defeat the Mariners
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Bottom of the fourth inning, Blue Jays in Seattle, knotted up at 1 with the Mariners. Jose Berrios facing off with Ty France. Right on right, here's the pitch. Called strike 1. France with a single in the second inning. He's had Berrios' number over the course of their careers. 0-1. Rolled over foul, 0-2. Ty France now 6 for 10 in his career against Jose Berrios, although all of them are singles. Right-hander standing on the first base side of the rubber. Twists and deals. Just missed outside with the change. 10th changeup of the day for Berrios, who's been pretty evenly split amongst his pitches. Just hasn't thrown many cutters, that's all. Here's 1-2. Slurve is fouled off to the right.
He threw fastball inside, changeup away, slurve away. I imagine they come back inside with a fastball. They go up with something hard here.
One, 2. Went back to the slurve. A check swing by France. He doesn't go after it, and it bounced. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Berrios steps on the rubber, looks in toward the batter France. And it's 2-2. Hit on the ground. Snagged there by Guerrero at third, and he'll throw over to first. Looked pretty good as he stepped in front of the shortstop. Bichette turned his body and made the play.
Yeah, he said, I'll take this, Bichette. Made a pretty confident throw over there. He has a big smile on his face, stealing that ground ball from Bo Bichette, but that was a good throw across the diamond right to the chest of Spencer Horwitz at first base.
Although those two haven't played beside each other much in the majors, they did come up the entire time. They weren't together exactly the entire time, but for most of their minor league careers, playing short and third together. So they probably have more chemistry there than it would seem. First pitch to Josh Rojas popped up and into the seats. 0-1. Blue Jays playing Guerrero at third today so that they can have Horwitz in the lineup and have Turner in the lineup and have Leo Jimenez in the lineup. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Got Rojas out in front on a change, 0-2.
And I don't know how Vlad feels about playing multiple days in a row at third base, but he looks good over there. He looks confident, he looks solid, and especially that arm.
0-2. high. The reality of the situation with the Blue Jays is after they sent down Addison Barger yesterday to AAA, they only have 2 guys that have played third base at the major league level really with any consistency. It's Guerrero and Clement. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the slurve. 7th strikeout already for Berrios. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, that was one of his best of the day right there. Looked like a fastball and then just slides right under the bat of Rojas. That's a good one.
Nobody on for the Mariners here. Jorge Polanco about to come up to the plate. A teammate of Jose Berrios in Minnesota from 2016 to 2021. Right on left pitch. Called strike 1. Let's go to the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in '92. Join them for wings, ribs, beer, cocktails, and catch every play at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. 0-1 pitch hit foul, 0-2. Yesterday, the A's throttled the Orioles, coming close to 20 runs scored in that game. Today, it's a different story as Baltimore leads Oakland 5-0. Heston Kjerstad has a home run and 3 RBIs. Out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 1-1 in Seattle. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the 4th. The 2-strike pitch. Called strike 3. Jose Berrios punches out Jorge Polanco on a backdoor slurve. He has struck out 8 today. We go to the 5th in a 1-1 game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If you like yacht rock, you're gonna love Yacht Soul. A new Sirius XM channel with the same smooth, but even more groove. And all this week, smooth soul legend George Benson is your host.
Turn your love around.
Soulful and funky. Yacht Soul, year-round in a Sirius XM app and docked for a limited time at Channel 105 on most radios.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball. You love yelling at your buddies about baseball because they love baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, and much, much, much more. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, Sean Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Hopefully you get a couple guys going at the same time, and we're just looking for consistency. It's been tough, it's been frustrating at times, but also feel good about the progress that certain guys have made and that the progress that we've made in terms of, our prep and our work.
Managers at the mic on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89 and the Sirius XM app.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Kevin Kiermaier leads off the 5th for the Blue Jays. This one knotted up at 1 in a rubber match between Toronto and Seattle. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. George Kirby's pitch. Big curveball for strike 1. Kiermaier struck out on a splitter in the 2nd. He's 0 for 1. Looking out at Kirby, who winds and offers. Splitter misses low. Kiermaier, Springer, and Horwitz to hit this inning for Toronto. A breath from Kirby in the 1-1. Swing and a pop-up. Third base side foul. Running way back. Josh Rojas makes the catch on the side warning track. 1 out. The 5th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. Desjardins awarded another 150 grants worth $20,000 each to entrepreneurs across Canada. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz at goodsparkgrants.ca. Here's George Springer 0 for 2. Kirby's pitch. Called strike. Hot streak has continued for George Springer in the last 11 games coming into today. A .471 batting average and 13 RBIs. Average on the year at .220 right now. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Springer had a big day yesterday, had 2 hits and 2 walks, also scored 2 runs. 1-1 game and the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a pop-up. First base side foul, but that will get off the field and into the seats. 1-2. .65 pitches so far for Kirby, who threw 20 in the first. 1-2. Swing and a miss. 6th strikeout today for Kirby. It comes on the splitter, and there are 2 outs in the top of the 5th.
It's so hard to be sitting back on a fastball, potentially 96, 97 miles an hour, and then George Kirby just flips that split finger in there. Looks like a fastball, arm speed like a fastball, and just dives out of the strike zone.
Now his pitch to Spencer Horwitz, who's 1 for 2, called strike 1. Quick look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Kansas City leading Colorado 10-1 today in Denver. Bobby Witt Jr. with 3 hits, including a 3-run homer. 0-1. Horwitz pops it up. Third base side foul, out of play. Witt did not get picked as the American League starter at short. That went to Gunnar Henderson, but both were locks to make it there in the American League. That's our peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill.
The future is bright for those two, that's for sure.
2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the 5th inning, it's 1-1. The 0-2 pitch. Fought off by Horwitz. Fastball above the letters, I think, or above the zone. That's where George Kirby wanted it, but Horwitz was able to just get it fouled back and over the netting.
Well, he's really good at fighting. We've seen that a million times this season already. Just fouls off tough pitches. That one around the neck.
Kirby with a breath, his 70th pitch. Low, ball 1. If the left-handed hitter Horwitz can keep this inning going, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will bat next. Each of Horwitz and Guerrero have hits today against Kirby. 1-2 offering. Bounced foul. Horwitz swung at a curve below the knees and caromed it off the ground and into himself. He's all right, though, and stepping out of the box for a moment. Kirby looking in at Horwitz, shakes off a pitch, now has what he wants. 1-2. Way outside. Went with the splitter there, but it looked like it slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, that might have been his worst pitch of the day. Not even close with that split finger. You could see him looking at his hand after he threw that pitch.
Two. Just inside. Fastball that almost ran back over the plate. Horwitz lays off, and from 0-2, he's worked a full count.
Boy, he's got a good eye. It was, what, an inch or 2 off inside?
That's why he's got 14 walks to 13 strikeouts. 3-2. Swing and a hot shot right side through the hole and into right field, a base hit. 2 hits today for Spencer Horwitz. And that's just what he keeps on doing.
I mean, at this point, it's getting a little bit ridiculous. I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm just talking about his ability to fight and foul off pitches, and eventually he always gets that pitch over the heart of the plate. And whether he does damage with it or not, that's another story. But he is just incredible up there at seeing multiple pitches each at bat.
He's on first. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at the plate from the stretch. The pitch. Called strike. But you talk about those battles. I remember the day Horwitz hit 2 home runs against Cleveland. The plate appearance that he looked back on the most that day, and John Schneider said the next day too, was the 12-pitch battle he had with Emmanuel Clase for the walk. The 0-1. Guerrero swings and hits it back behind the plate, foul, 0-2.
And of course, Emmanuel Clase has some of the best stuff in baseball.
That was the longest at-bat by pitches Clase had ever had in his career.
And honestly, it's not surprising that it came against Spencer Horwitz.
He is that kind of guy. Will not go down with a strikeout easily. He's on first. 2 strikes on Guerrero. 1-1 Blue Jays and Mariners with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. The 0-2 to Vlad. Swing and a bouncing ball hit at the shortstop. Crawford. A shuffle and a throw on to first to end the inning. A 2-out knock for Horwitz. He is stranded on base, and it's still 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
With 2024 training camps around the corner, SiriusXM NFL Radio looks back at the best moments from last season.
To Brandon Ayuk, it's deflected. And caught.
Join host Alex Marvez as he brings you the top plays of 2023. The spectacular efforts, the game-winning plays, and the reaction from the voices that called the action.
How about that crazy play?
Catch NFL Radio's top plays of 2023 anytime on the all-new SiriusXM app.
This is Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and host of the SiriusXM original podcast, Black Diamonds. Hear stories about the legends of the Negro Leagues and conversations with the all-time greats they've influenced, like 5-time World Series champion Derek Jeter.
I don't care what race you are. You need to know your past. This is U.S. history. It's not just baseball history.
Hear over 70 episodes of the award-winning Black Diamonds podcast, available now on the SiriusXM app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues. Right now on Channel 87.
Aaron Judge drills a 3-run home run.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365. Coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Jose Berrios back on the mound. Bottom of the 5th inning in Seattle. 1-1. Blue Jays and Mariners. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host. Nick Blackmore, our producer, and Tom Young, our technical director. Right on left, the pitch to Dominic Canzone. Hit on a line left center field, and that is sinking it down. Cut off by Kiermaier. He'll whip it back in quickly to keep Canzone to a single, but a big clap there from the Mariners' right fielder, who's aboard with a leadoff single.
Yeah, that was a good piece of hitting, but an even better job by Kevin Kiermaier cutting that baseball off in the gap and really didn't set his feet and made a quick throw into second base, keeping Dominic Canzone at first base. Double play still in order, too.
Horwitz will hold on Canzone at first, who's not much of a threat to run. 1 stolen base in 1 attempt. You got to focus on the guy at the plate, though. Victor Robles, who homered his last time up, checks his swing at a pitch outside. 1-0. Robles hit his first homer of the season and first as a Mariner on a fastball on the inside edge, and it was a blast. 424 feet out to left field. The 1-0. Shows bunted, puts it down in front of the mound, first base side. Berrios is going to throw to second and hits the runner. Canzone skips into right center. Both runners will advance 90 feet as Robles goes up to second and Canzone goes to third.
Well, it looked like Jose Berrios was kind of caught in between. I'm sure Alejandro Kirk was saying 1-1-1, and he brought his head up as he's pointing to his chest saying, my bad. He looked up, noticed that he had a chance to get Canzone at second base, and kind of was in in-between mode right there. Didn't make a very good throw to second base, and now the Mariners have runners on second and third, nobody out.
Probably would have had to have been a perfect throw to get Canzone. Instead, it hit the runner. Now the first pitch to J.P. Crawford inside, 1-0.
You got to get the out there. And I can almost guarantee that Kirk was yelling 1-1-1.
1-1 game, second and third, no outs, and the 1-0 pitch. Crawford fouls it back off to the left.
And I think the biggest reason why I say you have to get that out at first base and get that sure out is because Jose Berrios looks good today. He can easily get out of the inning. 1 out, guy on second base, strike out a guy, pop up. That's not out of the realm of possibilities with the way he looks right now.
1-1. Just outside. Yeah, Berrios has matched his season high today with 8 strikeouts already in only 4 innings. Now he'll really look for some more strikeouts with second and third and nobody out. Corners in for the Blue Jays, the 2-1. Hit on the ground to first. Horwitz looks back the runner at third and steps on the bag. That's a big first out as both runners have to hold up. Canzone remained at third and Robles stays at second.
Yeah, that's a big first out. Now you still have that base open with Mitch Garver at the plate. I'm going for a strikeout here, either a strikeout or a pop-up. And that's about it. You don't want anything else to happen in this situation. So with that base open, you can kind of nibble, go for the strikeout here.
Garver has struck out 91 times this season. This is 77th game. Infield in all spots now, and the pitch is high, ball 1.
And then you have another guy coming up in Cal Raleigh that strikes out a lot too. So if I'm Jose Berrios, I'm thinking that I'm in good shape right here.
Second and third, 1 out, the 1-0. Called strike, changeup on the inside edge. 1-1. I can tell you Garver was not expecting that pitch. Tensed up immediately and took it. Here's the 1-1 now from Berrios. Just inside with a fastball.
They're really trying to get in there. 2 fastballs and a changeup off the plate inside to start off Garver.
Berrios looks at second, the pitch. Check swing liner down the right field line. It's a foul ball. That almost got really dangerous. Garver with maybe a half swing at most looped that ball over the head of Spencer Horwitz, and by inches it got foul. It would have been 2 runs for the Mariners for sure.
That would have been about as lucky as it gets. That ball landed probably an inch foul, maybe a couple of inches foul. You could hear the crowd booing, but that was definitely foul. I don't think that's a half swing. I think that's might be a third swing.
Third swing. I didn't know if 40% swing was a little bit too in the weeds. But Berrios does get Garver to 2 strikes, even though that was dangerous there for a second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 in scoring position, 1 out in a 1-1 game. The pitch. Hit in the air, deep left field. Way back. That ball is gone. It's a 3-run homer for Mitch Garver, and a 4-1 Mariner lead.
And I know hindsight is 20/20, but if with 2 strikes there, I'm not throwing a changeup. I know that that's not where Jose Berrios wanted that pitch. You can see him furious with himself on the mound right there, but that's just a dangerous pitch to throw. 2 strikes, a guy that strikes out a lot. Either you're elevating there out of the strike zone or you're burying something below the strike zone. You can see Jose Berrios just upset out there, throwing that rosin bag. That is an easy pitch to hit right there. A changeup right down Broadway.
For Garver, his 12th home run of the season, now up to 36 RBIs. 4-1 for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh pops up the first pitch he sees. Guerrero at third, shielding his eyes from the sun. Curls to his left and makes an underhanded catch. 2 down. With the Mariners up 4-1 and 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, let's go to the injury report. Brought to you by Bergmanis Prero Personal Injury Lawyers. If life has thrown you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Prero Personal Injury Lawyers. You focus on getting better, and Bergmanis Prero will take care of the rest. Visit bplawyers.ca. If you didn't see it yesterday, Jimmy Garcia had his first rehab appearance with AAA Buffalo. He threw 10 pitches in a 1-2-3 inning, struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced. Here's Berrios' pitch to Luke Raley. It's hit on the ground softly to second. Picked up by Jimenez. Throw on to first in time. That's it for the inning. 2 hits, an error, and 3 runs for the Mariners. Mitch Garver's blast makes it 4-1 Seattle as we go to the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at desjardins.com/heart.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Out of here! Out of here! Davis Snyder wins it!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Justin Turner leading off for the Blue Jays. Top of the 6th inning. It's 4-1 for the Mariners. A 3-run shot by Mitch Garver in the bottom of the 5th has created separation in this ball game. And now Turner tries to bring the Blue Jays back a little closer. George Kirby's first pitch, called strike 1. It's Turner's first game since June 2nd. Left the Blue Jays on a high note. Was on base 3 times that day in the 7-6 win over Houston. Another Berrios start. 0 for 2 today. Takes the 0-1 high and outside.
And then he went and had a baby boy, a Canadian baby boy. Unofficially.
I don't know. I just don't know the rules. I'll leave that to the citizenship lawyers. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Turner, Bichette, Varsho to hit this inning for the Blue Jays. Kirby sets up the splitter grip in his glove. Waves his glove around, and now the 1-2. Fastball popped up, back of the plate, into the seats. Turner twirls his bat, leans back as he looks out at Kirby. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets him on the splitter. That's the 7th George Kirby strikeout.
That pitch is just devastating. Just looks like a fastball and then dives to the right under the bat of Justin Turner. Such a devastating pitch. 87 miles an hour.
Bo Bichette up to the plate now with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Bichette takes another splitter, that one in the dirt. 1-0. We're in the 6th inning, which is brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. Desjardins is a big fan of small biz. That's why they awarded another $3 million to small businesses across the country. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz this year at goodsparkgrants.ca. The wind and the 1-0. Called high. Kirby tilts his head to the side. That looked like a strike, but it's 2-0.
That was a good pitch. Top of the strike zone. I'm sure Bo Bichette is thankful that one was called a ball.
That changes the at-bat a lot. Instead of 1-1, Bichette in the driver's seat at 2-0. Here's the offering. That one high, ball 3. Bo worked the lone walk that Kirby has issued today in the first, and then he doubled and scored in the fourth. The Blue Jays' only run in this 4-1 game. 3-0 pitch. Called strike.
And keep in mind, George Kirby just threw his 86th pitch of the game, so his days are numbered in this ball game.
So relatively taxed bullpen for the Mariners. They used 5 different relievers yesterday. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Bichette on a fastball on the outside edge. Full count. Bo takes a step out of the box, now back in there. Staring out at Kirby. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 97 on the outside edge. 8 strikeouts for George Kirby.
I mean, he's just so tough. Just a guy that hits his spot almost pitch after pitch. That one right there, no different. Right on the black on the outside part of the plate.
So 2 outs in Dalton, Varsho up. Kirby trying to strike out the side. Right on left the pitch. Curveball, called strike. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, they are announcing all-star selections right now. All of the reserves and pitchers are being announced.
Any Chris Bassett news?
0-1. Popped up. Back of short. The center fielder Robles is saying he can't see it, and the left fielder Raley will come over to his aid in shallow left center and make the catch to end the inning. We'll have more on those all-star rosters on the other side. It's 4-1 for the Mariners going to the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, it's Billy Joel here. It's back. All my music on my very own channel, the Billy Joel Channel.
Because you had to be a big shot.
His songs, his stories. There were these 2 Italian guys that owned this recording studio. Wow, they had a piano, they had microphones, and I was really impressed. I wanted to know what everything was. What does that do? What does that do? What does that do?
The Billy Joel Channel, happening now for a limited time. Sirius XM Channel 79 and the Sirius XM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your Sirius XM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on Sirius XM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. Sirius XM Sports. We're more than just a game.
The Busted Open podcast is now available on YouTube. This is Dave LaGreca, host of Busted Open, the #1 pro wrestling show on the planet. You can now watch and listen to the award-winning Busted Open podcast every single day on YouTube. Our best interviews, behind-the-scenes access, and some of our best content from the past. All available right now when you go to youtube.com/@BustedOpenPodcast. Subscribe right now.
The UFC is on Sirius XM. Hear all the action live from the Octagon every weekend on Sirius XM Fight Nation Channel 156.
Radio Network.
Home half of the 6th inning in Seattle. Rubber match between the Blue Jays and Mariners. It's 4-1 for the home side. With Seattle batting, Ty France steps into the box. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host, Nick Blackmore, our producer, Tom Young, our technical director. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. France with a single and a ground out today. Steps in on the right side. And the pitch from Jose Berrios. Outside, 1-0. Let's go back to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Mentioned that American League All-Star pitchers have been announced. 1-0. Swing and a liner foul behind home plate, 1-1. A big cheer in Seattle because one of those pitchers is Mariner Logan Gilbert. He has made the All-Star team. Tyler Anderson, Corbin Burns, Manuel Clase have made the team. 1-1. inside. 2-1. Garrett Crochet, Clay Holmes, Tanner Houck, Seth Lugo, Mason Miller, Cole Reagans, Tarek Skubal, and Kirby Yates.
Pretty good names.
It's pretty loaded pitching staff for the American League. 2-1 pitch, and France went around on a spiked slurve. 2-2.
A lot of guys that'll carry the torch for a while, too.
Yeah, you got Skubal, Reagans, both pretty young. Miller's pretty young. Gilbert's pretty young. Crochet. 2-2. Just off the plate away on the slurve. No, called strike 3. France bent over. He couldn't believe it. I don't totally blame him. It's a strikeout for Berrios to set a new season high. He has 9 punch-outs today.
Jordan Baker took a while to make that call. It sounded like he said outside, but I think he said strike 3 and took that right step back and rung him up.
Berrios on 80 pitches after the strikeout. Deals to Josh Rojas. Changeup called a ball. 1-0.
I also might go out on a limb here and say that Jordan Baker is the loudest home plate umpire in the major leagues.
I don't mind it, though. Fans can probably hear it. 1-0. Rolled over to the right side. 1-1. Because you know what we haven't seen once today? A ball called and a pitcher go, was that outside or was that high? You know exactly what he didn't like about the pitch. One. Slurve misses down and in. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, you're right. I think he just said ball low. So you don't have to ask where that pitch was.
2-1 pitch. Called strike, and that was the second strike in case you were wondering as Baker bellows it out. 2-2 is the count. Berrios adjusts his cap, stretches his arms out as Rojas had asked for time. Now the left-handed hitter for Seattle back in the box, taps the plate, pinwheels the bat and looks out to Berrios. Righty set with his glove at his belt. 2-2. Fastball inside.
Berrios just threw his 85th pitch of the day. I know it doesn't seem like it because of the score, but he's pitched really well today.
It's really just that one inning, the 5th, that got away from him. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets him on a slurve. Rojas down to a knee. 10 strikeouts for Jose Berrios.
And after he struck out Rojas there, you can see just a tad bit of frustration on his face, probably still thinking about that pitch to Garver, maybe the throw to second base. It'll take a couple innings, maybe a couple days to stop thinking about those errors.
Here's his pitch to Jorge Polanco. Called strike. Yeah, that inning just got dicey quickly after a leadoff single, a bunt by Robles, and Berrios tried to throw to second to start a double play or at least get the lead runner. It was an error and things fell apart from there. 0-1 pitch hits Polanco and he will go down to first. That slurve quite literally got him in the back foot, maybe in the shin.
Yeah, the former teammates having a quick conversation. I'm sure Jose Berrios was going out there in there to see if he was okay. Jorge Polanco kind of limping towards first base. They got him right on the inside of the shin bone.
Veteran Polanco has taken some time talking to trainer Kyle Torgerson and Scott Service, the manager for the Mariners, but Polanco has kept walking toward first, so looks like the good news is he'll be all right.
Also my former teammate, Jorge Polanco.
Oh, yeah.
Can you guess where? You won't get it. I know that you know a lot about everything, but you won't get it.
It's not Japan?
No.
Is it in the Venezuelan Winter League?
Dominican.
Okay.
Escogido. And you know the most interesting thing about that team? Moises Alou is the GM.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still is?
I don't know if he currently is, but he was, and he would drive to the stadium every day in a slick Ferrari. What
year was that you were teammates with him?
I want to say like 2014-ish, somewhere around there. It was before he became a good big leaguer.
Polanco on first with 2 outs, 4-1 Seattle. And the pitch to Dominic Canzone, called strike 1.
But it was always neat to walk into the clubhouse and see Moises Alou sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
Afterwards, he'd be drinking a beer, probably.
Berrios with a breath. Here's his 90th pitch of the start. Swing and a fly ball left field. Varsho tracks it and makes the catch to end the inning. 2 more strikeouts for Berrios to get up to 10 on the day. He strands 1 runner, but it's still 4-1 Seattle as we go to the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. On Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Sundays are for Junior Jays. Get to the ballpark early to enjoy outdoor activities before continuing the fun inside while you cheer on the Blue Jays.
If you're feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Kirk smacks it down the left field line. This one's got a chance. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
George Kirby remains on the mound for the Mariners. The starter working in his 7th inning with Seattle up 4-1 on Toronto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Kirby winds and deals to Alejandro Kirk. Swing and a liner, left center field. That's down in the gap. Cut off by Robles in center. That will limit Kirk to a single, but another well-struck ball by the Blue Jays catcher. He's aboard to lead off the 7th.
Yeah, another one just hit right on the screws. I'm assuming that most people would have been standing on second base there. Obviously, Alejandro Kirk, not the swiftest of guys, but another good swing. Didn't really try to do too much there. Just hit that good line drive right back up the middle.
So Kirk is on first, and Leo Jimenez is up to the plate. 1 for 2 today. Single to center in the 2nd for his first major league hit. The pitch from Kirby. Swing and a foul off to the right. 0-1. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard, the National League pitchers have been announced for the All-Star game as well. Some big names, of course, lining up for the National League. The 0-1. Swing and a hot shot left field. Down in front of Raley, a base hit. Kirk slides into second to beat the strong throw. Raley kind of deked him there as he threw the glove up like he was going to catch it, but it got down. That's a 2-hit day for Leo Jimenez, and the Blue Jays will bring the tying run up to the plate with no outs in the top of the 7th.
Well, that's pretty cool for Leo Jimenez. In his first big league start, he gets 2 base hits, especially off such a good pitcher like George Kirby.
He's going to knock a pitcher like George Kirby out of this ball game, it seems. Scott Service is making the slow walk out to the mound. He will take the ball from Kirby. Ryan Stanek has been getting loose and is getting set to come into this ball game. 4-1, the Mariners lead the Blue Jays, but Toronto has 2 on with nobody out in the top of the 7th. Let's go to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we check the out-of-town scoreboard, don't forget we do have Jays Talk today. Jesse Rubinov is here with me at Baseball Control. He and I have the post-game show. I'll throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. You can text us anytime. 590-590, name and location, please. The People's text line, is always open. All right, let's check that out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Some Olympic news. We already know the men's national basketball team is off to Paris. We were awaiting the rest of their group to be made up alongside Australia. There were some Olympic qualifiers that were going. So today we now know Spain and Greece will fill out their group at the Summer Olympics. So here's the official schedule. July 27th, we'll see Canada take on Giannis Antetokounmpo and Greece at 3 p.m. Eastern. They'll play Australia at July 30th at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, so wake up early for that one. And they'll take on Spain on August 2nd at 11:15 a.m. Eastern as well. Some scores from around Major League Baseball, lots of finals. Rays at Rangers, a sweep for Texas. The Rangers smoking the Rays, 13-2. Corey Seager and Travis Jankowski both with 3 RBI. Rookie Wyatt Langford had a 4-hit day. Jonah Heim had a 4-hit day. Robbie Grossman had a bases-loaded walk and hit a solo home run. Astros at Twins, a real back-and-forth series with the Twins grabbing a 3-2 walk-off win. Christian Vasquez scoring all 3 runs for Minnesota. An RBI single, he hit into a force-out, and off of Josh Hader, game tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning, he hit the game-winning walk-off home run. Giants at Guardians, Giants are up 3-0 in this game. Josh Naylor with an RBI single gets Cleveland on the board. In the 6th inning, his brother Bo Naylor coming up with a pinch-hit 3-run bomb. Guardians win 5-4 at home. Giants fall to 44-47, and next take on the Blue Jays on Tuesday at Oracle Park in San Francisco. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Back to the action we go. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Blue Jays down 4-1, top of the 7th inning. 2 runners on, nobody out. Kevin Kiermaier coming up for Toronto. Ryan Stanek's on the mound, his 41st appearance of the season. A righty with a 3.5 ERA. Deals to Kiermaier, who hits a fastball back foul, 0-1. Second time the Blue Jays have seen Stanek in this series. He pitched a scoreless 8th inning back in the opener on Friday. Faced George Springer, who pinch hit for Kiermaier in Kiermaier's spot that day. Now a miss down and away. It's 1-1. Extra base hits for Kiermaier in back-to-back games for the first time this season. He's 0 for 2 today. The 1-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Cal Raleigh, and Stanek's ahead 1-2.
I think that's the main reason why Kiermaier is still in this ball game and they didn't pitch hit for him. The only thing I don't love about this is Kiermaier has struggled with high velo, and Stanek, of course, has high velo.
96 on the last pitch. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Splitter gets Kiermaier out in front. That's the first out of the inning. Ryan Stanek has a lot in his toolbox for a reliever. He's got a 4-seamer, a sinker, a splitter, and a slider. Mentioned George Springer hit against him and grounded out 2 days ago. Springer is up now, representing the tying run. The pitch. Foul tipped into the glove. 0-1. 2 former Astros, but not former teammates. Stanek spent the last 3 seasons with Houston. 2021, his first year with the Astros, was Springer's first year with the Blue Jays. 0-1 pitch is hit well. Right center field. Going backhand zone. Looking for the wall. That ball is gone. Game-tying blast. George Springer. A fist pump around first as with one big swing, Springer has tied the game at 4. Let's go! 400 feet out to right center field. His 10th of the year and probably his most important of the year. It's 4-4.
Well, just like that, this game is tied. What a swing from George Springer on a tough fastball out over the plate. He drills that thing just over the fence in right center.
It's a new ball game in Seattle with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Strike 1 on Spencer Horwitz.
That fastball from Stanek that he hit out was 98 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate. That was a great swing from George Springer.
0-1 pitch, called strike 2. And we saw this starting with the Carlos Rodon game when Springer hit 2 homers. He is hitting fastballs that are 95 plus at a much better rate than he was earlier in the year.
Yeah, and I just think it's the approach. I think it's the approach, and if he's not trying to do too much, he's trying to hit that baseball up the middle, use the gaps.
0-2, just a little bit high. A 3-run homer gave the Mariners a 4-1 lead in the 5th, and a 3-run homer ties it up here in the 7th. Horwitz is 2 for 3 today. The pitch from Stanek. Swinging a bouncing ball through the legs of the pitcher and up the middle, past the dive of the second baseman Polanco into center field. Horwitz with a hit. The Blue Jays have 4 knocks in this inning.
And don't look now, but there's a runner on first base with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming to the plate.
3-hit day for Spencer Horwitz. Guerrero has a hit today. And Ryan Stanek is about to face his 3rd batter. He doesn't have an out yet. Or pardon me, he just faced his 3rd batter. He did strike out Kiermaier first. Back-to-back hits allowed, though, and the pitch to Guerrero yanked down and away, 1-0.
And between first and second, George Springer was going crazy. His helmet almost flew off because he was just trying to pump the fist.
The 1-0. Guerrero fouls it back. Blue Jays fans are loud now at T-Mobile Park, and with good reason, as Toronto has come back from down 3 to tie this game in the 7th. Stanek kicks and delivers. Miss low. He's fallen behind Guerrero now, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, I'm sure if the Blue Jays can somehow sneak out a win here, that short flight down to San Francisco is going to be a lot more fun, that's for sure.
Still have work to do, but I think you're right on that one. It's a 4-4 game, top of the 7th. More action in the Mariner pen as Stanek delivers a 2-1 and Guerrero foul tips it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Most runs allowed in an outing by Stanek since June 7th, when he also allowed 3. And that's his season high. I guess 2 of them are his runs. Well, pardon me, only 1 is his run. So it's not the most allowed. Scratch all of that. But he gives up 2 of George Kirby's runs and 1 of his own here in the 7th. Runner on first, 1 out, and the 2-2 to Guerrero. Down and away, ball 3. It's a full count.
And I guess the only thing that you really have to second guess about Stanek being in this ballgame is that George Kirby only threw 93 pitches.
They yanked him after the back-to-back hits in the 7th, and it has not worked out. 3-2. Inside, ball 4. Horwitz was leaving on the pitch, but he will jog into second. Guerrero's on first, his 2nd time aboard today, and the Blue Jays have another runner in scoring position here in the 7th inning.
That was a great at-bat from Vlad. Not trying to do too much. In those situations, you tend to get a little antsy. You want to put something in a gap, maybe hit a home run there, but Vlad gladly takes his walk.
Pete Woodworth is walking out to the mound to talk to the reliever here in the 7th. A 7th inning that's brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. As a big fan of small biz, Desjardins awarded another $3 million to entrepreneurs across Canada. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz this year at goodsparkgrants.ca. 4-4 ball game thanks to George Springer's 3-run homers set up by singles by Kirk and Jimenez. Now a Horwitz single and a Guerrero walk has made it 1st and 2nd again for the Blue Jays. Still only 1 out. Justin Turner up to the plate, 0 for 3 today, 3 strikeouts. Stanek looks at second, delivers home. Turner hits a ball in the air, center field, drifting to right center. It's called on by Canzone, who makes the catch. Horwitz tags from second, advances to third. So runners on the corners now for the Blue Jays, but 2 outs. Turner jumped on a first pitch 4-seamer that was a little bit down and away. Looked off the bat like he got a little bit more of it than he ended up getting. But he's retired, and Bo Bichette comes up with 2 outs.
I like that Spencer Horwitz actually tagged from second base. You don't really see that a lot with one out. But now that he's at third base, he can potentially score on a wild pitch or something like that.
First pitch to Bichette, down and away, ball 1. Also guarantees that Horwitz would score on pretty much every single that has ever been hit. 1-0. Downstairs, Bichette checked his swing, appeal down to first, no swing, 2-0. Other than like a swinging bunt right in front of the plate that Bo legged out, every other single is going to score Spencer Horwitz. Horwitz is on third, leading off in foul territory. Guerrero taking steps off first, held on by Ty France. 4-4 game, 2-0 pitch. Fouled off the mask, I believe, of Raleigh, or actually hit his knee and bounced up and to the right. That draws the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. They couldn't find the baseball for a moment. Cal Raleigh has it now. And actually, no, it was his pitch comp got knocked off of his knee and flew behind the plate.
Was that all the way to the backstop?
Yeah. It's a direct hit from the foul ball hit by Bo Bichette.
Well, if that was a direct hit, you'd assume they'd need a new one, no?
It's durable pitch comp. First and third, 2 down. Ready to go again, the pitch. Down and away, ball 3.
This might be Stanek's last pitch.
Austin Voth and Taylor Saucedo, a righty and a lefty respectively, are up right now in the Mariners' pen. Let's go Blue Jays chance at T-Mobile Park. 3-1 pitch to Bo Bichette. Swing and a fly ball, shallow center. Robles is having trouble with the sun. The right fielder can zone over to make the catch. And that will end the inning. That got scary for the Mariners for a moment, but they reel it in to end the inning. The Blue Jays, though, scored 3 runs on 4 hits. George Springer's 3-run homer has brought us to a new game once again. 4-4 at the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2menintruck.ca. We've got lots of men and lots of trucks, so get ready to be moved.
Think 2menintruck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2menintruck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2menintruck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
So, you want to be a Looney Dogger, eh? Every Tuesday Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Grab $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Plus, stop by the Schneider's Porch, your hot dog headquarters. The destination for a one-of-a-kind hot dog experience with excellent ballpark views. So, whether you're the relish ringleader or 7th inning snacker, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. Don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
This is the best I've ever seen.
The competition's heating up on America's Got Talent.
Yeah!
Heart-pumping performances.
This season, everything is 10 times better.
And must-see moments.
You absolutely nailed it.
It was incredible.
The word is epic.
With $1 million dream on the line.
You've got a real shot at winning after that.
America's Got Talent. All new Tuesdays, 8/7 Central on City TV or stream it on City TV Plus.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Flaherty rocks the ball to left field. The Blue Jays have gone back-to-back.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control. Jays Mariners now tied at 4 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning at T-Mobile Park. Quick check out of the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. You heard Ben mention the All-Star reserves. We did the AL pitchers. Here are the AL League reserves, the position players. Carlos Correa, Rafael Devers, Jarren Duran, David Fry, Riley Green, Josh Naylor, Canada's own Josh Naylor, Isak Paredes, Salvador Perez, Marcus Simeon, Kyle Tucker, Bobby Witt Jr. In the NL, CJ Abrams, Pete Alonso, Luis Arraez, Mookie Betts, Ellie De La Cruz, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, well-deserved for Teo, Ryan McMahon, Jackson Merrill, Marcelo Zuna, Helio Ramos, Brian Reynolds, and Will Smith of the Dodgers, all going to the All-Star game in Texas. The Phillies leading the way with 7 combined All-Stars, a franchise record. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Jays and Mariners are tied at 4, bottom 7, T-Mobile Park. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. If you're just tuning in, this game has flipped entirely. It was 4-1 Mariners from the 5th until the top of the 7th. George Springer with a 3-run homer off reliever Ryan Stanek has made it a 4-4 game. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, it looks like Jose Berrios will remain on the mound for the Blue Jays. A loud day at T-Mobile Park. Last chance for the Western Canadians to see the Blue Jays in Seattle. And Jose Berrios is ready to go against Victor Robles. The pitch. High and tight, ball 1. Robles with a solo home run today and a fielder's choice. He tried to bunt for a sacrifice in the 5th. The Berrios throwing error to the lead runner allowed Robles to reach and actually go to second. He would come around to score on the 5th inning homer by Garver. Berrios is 1-0. Fastball right on the outside edge. Strike 1.
He's still got good stuff. That was pitch number 92. That fastball right there was 95 miles an hour.
It's really, if you scratch that 5th inning, it's been one of the better starts of his season. 1-1. Misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nate Pearson was getting loose. It looked like he might come in the 7th, but the Blue Jays decide to stick with Berrios. 2-1 pitch. Slurve called strike. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner. It's 2-2.
Yeah, it's almost like his stuff is getting better. That slurve right there might have been his best one of the day.
Blue Jays are asking for a pitch clock violation. 2-2. Down and away, ball 3. I think the Blue Jays dugout is contending that Robles was not alert to the pitcher in time. And it wasn't just John Schneider. It was pretty much every prominent coach in that dugout that was yelling to Jordan Baker. They didn't call it. Berrios missed. It's now a full count.
Yeah, John Schneider's furious in that dugout.
3-2. Low ball 4, a leadoff walk. Continued back and forth right now between the Blue Jays dugout and Jordan Baker. J.P. Crawford is about to come up to the plate.
Well, obviously with that result, they probably even more upset now.
If he strikes him out after it, he'd probably shelf that for a later date. Schneider came out of the dugout to talk to Baker. And now we're ready to go with the runner on first and nobody out, bottom of the 7th. That's the first walk of the day for Berrios. On 96 pitches, he deals to J.P. Crawford. Inside, ball 1. Crawford is 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts. 1 for 13 career against Berrios with 6 strikeouts. Chance of JP by the Mariners faithful. Berrios looks over at first at Robles. And now a turn and throw over to first. And Robles dives back in. He is a threat to run. 5 stolen bases this year, but he hasn't played a ton. He's a guy who can swipe a lot of bats.
Yeah, I would imagine at least at some point during this at-bat, he'll try to get to second base. It's obviously a big run out there.
1-0. Hit on a line up the middle into center field for a hit. Robles up to second. Crawford at first with his first knock of the day. And the Mariners are threatening here. First and second. Nobody out in the 7th.
And Mitch Garver coming to the plate already has 3 RBIs in this game.
John Schneider left Berrios out there to start the 7th, but after the walk in the hit, he is not going to let Garver face Berrios again. A point to the bullpen. Berrios tapping his chest, I believe signaling my bad for giving up the walk in the hit. It's been a strong day, but he gives up the baseball and walks off the field. 4-4 ball game. 2 on. Nobody out for the Mariners. Bottom of the 7th. Nate Pearson coming on. Let's go to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. Let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Some reminders about the many soccer games going on these days. The Euros continuing. The quarterfinals are officially wrapped. So we have Spain, France. That will go on Tuesday. England, Netherlands will go Wednesday. Copa America action. We already know Canada off to the semifinals after beating Venezuela in penalties. They'll now take on Argentina in the semis. So another reminder, that game will be on Tuesday, July 9th at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. The other semifinal, we'll see Colombia take on Uruguay. That game will be on Wednesday. Some scores from around Major League Baseball. I mentioned some scores earlier. Some games going on right now include the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Oakland Athletics. Yesterday, Oakland crushed Baltimore, but today the O's bottom of the 8th inning, 5-3 in Oakland. Other games going on right now. The Diamondbacks are ahead of the Padres, 4-1. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Brewers leading the Dodgers, 5-2. A lot of finals in Major League Baseball around right now as well. If you missed some of the finals in the AL, the Rays at Rangers, a sweep for Texas. The Rangers absolutely crushing the Rays, 13-2 the final score. Wyatt Langford had a 4-hit day. The rookie Jonah Heim also had a 4-hit day. Travis Jankowski and Corey Seager both had 3 RBI. Astros at Twins. Twins grabbing a 3-2 walk-off win courtesy of Christian Vasquez, who hit the game-winning walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning off of Josh Hader. He actually scored all 3 of the Twins runs today. Giants and Guardians. Giants are up 3-0. Josh Naylor, Bo Naylor both coming up big. Bo Naylor with a pinch hit 3-run bomb. Guardians win 5-4. Red Sox at Yankees. Boston and New York will be our Sunday nighter. Cutter Crawford, Luis Heel, the pitching matchup, will join that game in progress after Jays Talk. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Nate Pearson on the mound for the Blue Jays. Back to the action. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Show. A high-pressure situation for Nate Pearson. He enters this ball game with the go-ahead run for the Mariners on second. First and second for Seattle. 4-4, bottom of the 7th. Nobody out, but a good sign as he starts Mitch Garver off with strike 1. Pearson making his 37th appearance of the year and earned run average just below 5. 6'6" righty, kicks and delivers. Breaking ball lifted down the left field line, hooking into foul territory. Guerrero on the side warning track, makes a 2-handed catch, and there's 1 out.
That is a great result if you're Nate Pearson right there. Just a pop up, nothing really changes. Now you can go either for the ground ball or perhaps a strikeout here.
And a good play by Pearson too, covering third base, because Guerrero, the third baseman, and Bichette chased that pop-up. There was no one at third, and you would not put it past Robles to try and sneak up 90 feet.
But you do have Cal Raleigh coming to the plate.
I was about to say the first hurdle is cleared, but this, when you're talking about the Mariners facing the Blue Jays, is the biggest hurdle. Raleigh with 9 home runs in 17 games against the Blue Jays in the regular season in his career. First pitch. Fastball upstairs, 1-0. Raleigh's the leading run producer for the Mariners with 51 RBIs. He does bat just a hair over 200, but he's come up with big hits in big spots. 1-0. Fastball cut on and missed. 98 up and in on the hands. 1-1.
Yeah, just tied him up with that fastball. That shows you how effective that fastball is inside to righties, to lefties. Nate Pearson is working on being able to throw inside to either side of the plate.
That was the four-seamer. Also has a sinker. 1-1. Fastball is lifted to right, charging in Springer into right center, calls off Kiermaier, makes the catch, and tosses it back in quickly so Robles can advance. And there's now 2 outs with still the runners on first and second.
That wasn't a guaranteed catch. You could see George Springer fighting the sun, shielding his eyes with his glove before he made that catch. And Victor Robles actually had a tough time earlier on in the game twice.
I was going to say, it seems like the corners at least have a better angle. Robles in center has asked for help from his corner outfielders more than once because of the sun. Here's the pitch to Luke Raley. Outside with a slider, 1-0. First and second for Seattle. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. 4-4 game. It's a rubber match in this series. Rayleigh 0 for 3 today, a strikeout and a pair of groundouts. Right on left, the 1-0. Misses outside with a curveball. Rayleigh had the decisive 2-run double in game 1 and a solo homer in the 9th yesterday. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Went back to the slider. It was in the zone, but in on the hands. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That was actually a good pitch choice. You could probably guess that he was thinking something hard there. Fastball. He was way out in front there.
2-1. Another swing and a miss on another slider. It's 2-2. Really does feel this year like the pitch selection has evolved for Pearson. Rayleigh asks for time, steps out of the box, ponders for a moment before stepping back in. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 count in a 4-4 game, bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Bounce the slider. Runners take off. Throw down to third. Not in time. Oh, no. Is he out? Unclear call. I believe he is safe over at third base. Robles took off. And I think they're saying that Guerrero blocked the bag. They're enforcing that more this year. I'm not sure they got him anyway.
Yeah, he was safe anyways.
But they pointed right at Guerrero and then right at the base. So Robles gets the base regardless. There was not a steal from first by Crawford. So it's runners on the corners now with 2 outs and a full count. Stolen base for Robles is his 6th of the year. Pearson sets, glove at his chest. The 3-2. Popped up, foul, and out of play.
That was probably one of the most unclear calls I've seen in a while. I had no clue what was happening there.
And they're enforcing this more this year. I don't think we've seen that call yet this season. But the clear point by third base umpire Dan Merzel. 3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Pearson with a yell and a fist bump. He comes in with 2 on and nobody out and strands both runners to send us to the 8th in a tie game. 4-4 in Seattle. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The biggest names in NASCAR talk are now with SiriusXM.
Hey, this is Denny Hamlin, host of Actions Detrimental, driver of the number 11 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, and co-owner of 2311 Racing. Join me and my co-host Jared Allen every Monday for a recap of each NASCAR race from the driver's seat. We'll break down how my race went and hopefully ending in victory lane.
Hear Actions Detrimental plus every incredible podcast from Dirty Mo Media right now on the SiriusXM app.
The battle for European soccer supremacy has reached the knockout stage, and all the drama of the Euros is on SiriusXM.
Oh my goodness, what a story!
Every match is now win or go home, and they can all be heard on Fox Sports Channel 83.
That is sensational!
Before and after the matches, hear what the experts are saying on SiriusXM FC 157.
They are proven winners right now.
No one is covering Euro 2024 like SiriusXM. Listen in the car or on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. We're back on the track Sunday,
1:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Great American Getaway 400, presented by VisitPA.com.
from Pocono Raceway on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, in the car, and on the all-new SiriusXM app. Get closer to everything that moves you, wherever you are, with the SiriusXM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer! Yes!
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
Radio Network.
8th inning in Seattle. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. 4-4 game. A big thanks to that tie game still goes to Nate Pearson. He came in the bottom of the 7th with 2 on and nobody out in the tie game didn't allow any of those inherited runners to score. Now the Blue Jays face a new reliever. Austin Voth is in the game for the Mariners, facing off with Dalton Varsho. The righty kicks and delivers. First pitch, breaking ball, first strike. Both making his 39th appearance of the year, a low threes earned run average, and 32 strikeouts to 9 walks. Here's 0-1. Inside. It's not a lot of velocity from Voth. He'll average 94 on the four-seamer. It's a lot of movement. Throws a ton of cutters and sweepers. 1-1. Cutter hit foul, 1-2.
That elevated cutter, I think, is turning into one of the more effective pitches in all of baseball. You see a lot more guys throwing it now. That was a good one right there.
Right at the top of the zone. Varsho could only spoil it. Now the 1-2. Swing, and he foul-tipped a pitch right off the ground to stay alive. What do you think makes the elevated cutter effective?
I think it just looks like a fastball and then just bores in on the hands, and anything at the hands is tough. I think it's more effective to lefties for a right-handed pitcher than it would be to righties with a right-handed pitcher.
1-2. This is way high and outside with the curve.
But we have seen Chris Bassett throw it to righties. So it has to be effective also to righties, but I just see it, the fact that it's boring in on your hands, cutting in on your hands, it's almost impossible to hit.
This is a right-on-left matchup, the 2-2. Swing, and another one spoiled foul into the seats off to the left. Dalton Varsho, Alejandro Kirk, and Leo Jimenez set to hit this inning for the Blue Jays. Varsho is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt and 2 flyouts. Another 2-2. That ball is lifted again, foul to the left, and again out of play. For Voth, this is his third appearance in 4 days, although he threw only 5 pitches against the Blue Jays on Friday and 6 pitches the day before. 2-2. High and outside, ball 3. He's thrown 8 pitches to the first batter he's seen in this 8th inning.
It's a big pitch right here. If Dalton Varsho can somehow get on base, maybe steal second, then move him over, Blue Jays will be in business.
Varsho's been on base in 6 straight games. 3-2. Swing, and a ball spoiled off to the left. Once more, a cutter on the outside edge that he shoots into the netting. In the last 6 games, it's been 5 walks and 3 hits for Varsho that have allowed him to reach in every game in June or July. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chases a curveball away, and there's 1 out. That'll send Alejandro Kirk up to the plate. Another good day for Kirk. Yesterday he had 3 hits and a sacrifice fly. Today he has a hit and a sacrifice fly, also a strikeout. Right on right, the pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Both rocks and deals. And Kirk pops up the cutter. Back of first base in shallow right, sprinting can zone. Gets to it just by the foul line and makes the catch in fair territory for out number 2.
I think that cutter right there was tough because it was a backup cutter. It really didn't do much, almost like a BP fastball. Tied up Alejandro Kirk. Couldn't really do anything with that pitch.
That was a tough one, but the cutter is the pitch you want to key in on. Not just because Voth throws it the most, but it's also the pitch he allows a .500 slugging percentage on coming into this series. Leo Jimenez up 2 for 3 today. Takes a cutter for strike 1. Jimenez's single back in the 7th, his second major league hit of his career, was integral to the Blue Jays coming back in this game. 0-1, bounced. Jimenez's hit knocked George Kirby out of the game, and after a Kiermaier strikeout, George Springer hit a 3-run homer to make it 4-4, where it stands now with 2 outs and nobody on, top of the 8th. 1-1 pitch. Pop-up foul off to the right, out of play, 1-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th, Zach Pop has been throwing for the Blue Jays. Right-hander could be coming in. Both's 1-2. Outside.
I would imagine Nate Pearson goes back out for another inning. I'm not positive, and I don't pretend to think like John Schneider, but the way he just looked, I throw him back out there.
Pearson threw 12 pitches in the 7th. 2-2. Check swing, and that hit him on the hand. Looked like it was a foul tip for a second because Raleigh caught it, but actually it hit Leo Jimenez. And Jordan Baker is telling the Mariners dugout, rather than quarrel with him, that's a reviewable play. You can go look at if that ball hit a batter or not. But Jimenez is walking down to first. I think it hit him on the top of that bottom left hand.
That got him right on the top of that hand there, on that bottom hand. He's a pretty tough guy. Didn't really react much to it.
I think thankfully it got a lot of the protector.
That's right.
Obviously only does so much still, but it's a hit by pitch, and now the Blue Jays will deploy stolen base marvel in the minor leagues, now up with the Blue Jays for a second stint. Stuart Berroa is in, a guy who has stolen 58 bases in a minor league season before. Berroa's on first. Kevin Kiermaier's at the plate. The set from Voth. And the pitch. Low ball 1.
And I'd imagine that Stuart Berroa will be going at least, I thought he would have gone on the first pitch, but at least the second pitch.
Cal Raleigh is a good thrower from behind the plate for the Mariners. Big lead by Berroa. Turn and throw over to first. He dives back in. Stuart Berroa has 30 stolen bases in 66 games for Buffalo this year. The pitch. Fouled off.
And also keep in mind, if Kevin Kiermaier can get something in a gap, Stuart Berroa will score from first base.
Yeah, he is about as fast as they come. 30 this year, like I mentioned, 47 last year and the year before that, and 58 in 2021. 1-1 pitch. Kiermaier hits it on the ground right side, gloved by the first baseman France, who steps on the bag and ends the inning. Blue Jays leave the lone base runner on, and it's 4-4, middle of the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care. I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at desjardins.com/heart.
Hey, this is Kevin Gosman. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Blue Jays in Seattle. A rubber match that's knotted up at 4. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Big homers in this game by Mitch Garver and George Springer. Both 3-run shots have us at this 4-4 score. Zach Pop enters for the Blue Jays to pitch the bottom of the 8th, starting with Ty France. Right-hander from Brampton sets and the pitch. Sinker, cutter, slider for Pop, who's pitching in his 31st game. Earned run average just below 6. Righty's 1-0. Lifted deep left field. Racing back Varsho. Curls at the track. He's got about 5 feet and makes the catch. 1 out.
Well, I think that got in on Ty France just a little bit. I wasn't sure if he got it or not, but you could tell by the reaction of Dalton Varsho slowing up just in front of that wall that Ty France got jammed by that 97-mile-an-hour sinker from Zach Pop.
Big first out for Pop, who now faces lefty swinger Josh Rojas. The kick and the pitch. Outside. By the way, the Blue Jays have made a defensive switch after pinch running Stuart Baroa for Leo Jimenez. Davis Schneider has entered the game to take over at second base where Jimenez was playing. 1-0. Outside. That leaves Danny Jansen and Ernie Clement as the only 2 guys on the bench still for the Blue Jays. Pop sets with his glove at his belt, the 2-0. High ball 3. Rojas today is 0 for 3 with a trio of strikeouts. The pitch. High and outside, ball 4. Last time we saw Pop was 2 days ago against Seattle. He pitched a scoreless inning, but he did walk 3, and he escaped a bases loaded jam. Pete Walker's going to come out to the mound before that first walk here in this inning.
Well, he wasn't really close with any of those pitches there, and we've seen this issue with Zach Pop quite frequently this season, where he lets a guy on base. The game starts to speed up a little bit, and he'll be wild with those fastballs, with those off-speed pitches. And I'm sure that's what Pete Walker's telling him right here. Hey, slow the game down. Your stuff is good enough. Just throw strike 1 and get a ground ball here. Get us out of this inning.
His sinker, cutter, slider mix is conducive to forcing contact on the ground. He'll try to do that against Jorge Polanco. Blue Jays had Brendan Little up last inning. He continues to throw right now in the Toronto bullpen. 1 out, runner on first, 4-4, Toronto and Seattle, bottom of the 8th. Polanco's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. First pitch is at the knees, strike 1. Switch hitter batting left, second straight left-handed hitter that Pop has faced. Rojas leading off first, the 0-1. Hit on the ground weakly near the mound, picked up by Pop. Underhand flip to first for the out. A little bit of a tricky play, even though it was routine, as that ball was going down the first baseline with Polanco, but Pop stayed composed and got the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a nice play from Zach Pop. We actually saw him in his last game fumble a ground ball that was probably hit weaker than that. So that was a good play from him, getting the sure out at first base, but base hit will score that run from second base now, 2 outs.
Yeah, swinging bunt by Polanco has moved Rojas up to second. Dominic Canzone is at the plate. And it looks like they're going to give Canzone the free pass, rather than have Pop face another lefty. They're going to set up forces everywhere but the plate and give him a matchup with Victor Robles. But it looks like it won't be Victor Robles. It's going to be Julio Rodriguez pinch hitting. Rodriguez was removed yesterday just after a defensive top of the first inning. Said something in pregame, was barking with his right quad. But Rodriguez slams his bat down now to shed the barrel of the donut. And he is walking toward the plate with a rousing applause in Seattle.
And in a situation like this, it can be very easy for a young pitcher to kind of get worked up and let the game speed up. But I really hope that Zach Pop, again, trusts his stuff, trusts that fastball, get ahead with strike one, and then you can go to work. Just because Julio Rodriguez is at the plate doesn't mean I don't trust my own stuff. I really hope that that's how Zach Pop is thinking right now.
Rodriguez, a .247 hitter, 8 homers, and 30 RBIs. Chance of his name. First and second, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, the pitch. Outside with the slider, 1-0. Four ball game. Berrios pitched into the 7th. Pearson took over in the 7th with nobody out, stranded some runners. Now Pop in the 8th. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Sinker ran in on the hands of Rodriguez, who chased that ball that's probably 6 inches off the plate. Almost hit him. 1-1.
That is an ugly swing. That'll tell you how good that sinker is from Zach Pop. I would stay right there.
Infield back. They can go to any of the bags for an out. 1-1. Inside. Did it hit him? It did. You could hear contact with something there, whether it was plastic or wood, and it was plastic, the elbow protector of Rodriguez. That loads the bases, and now after seemingly walking Canzone to avoid a right-on-left matchup, J.P. Crawford is coming up to the plate, a left-handed hitter. John Schneider is going to go into his bullpen where Brendan Little is getting loose. 2 walks, one of them intentional. A hit batter, 2 outs recorded by Pop. And the righty is talking right now with Kirk. He hands the ball off to John Schneider and steps off the hill. That means we'll go to baseball control in a tense game. 4-4. Blue Jays and Mariners, bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we check the out-of-town scoreboard, another reminder that we do have Jays Talk tonight. Jesse Rubinov is here at Baseball Control with me. He and I have the post-game show today. I'll throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. And you can text us anytime, 590-590. Name and location, please. That is the People's Text line, and it is always open. You can text us right now. Get those texts on the air once this game is in the books. All right, let's check the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. If you missed this from earlier, some Olympic news. We already knew the women's schedule and the men's schedule announced today because we were awaiting the rest of their group to be made up alongside Australia thanks to these Olympic qualifiers. So they're now in the books. Spain and Greece will fill out Canada and Australia's group at the Paris Summer Olympics. So the official schedule for the men's team, July 27th. Canada, Greece at 3 Eastern. Australia, Canada, July 30th, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And Canada will take on Spain on August 2nd at 11:15 a.m. Eastern as well. Some scores from around Major League Baseball, including the Mets beating the Pirates 3-2. The Phillies getting blanked by the Braves 6-0. The Marlins beating the White Sox 7-4. And the Tigers beating the Reds 5-1. Sunday Night Baseball just about to get underway. Cutter Crawford, Luis Heel, the pitching matchup there, 7:10 p.m. Eastern is the time of first pitch between the Red Sox and the Yankees. I mentioned the basketball earlier. Don't forget, for the Raptors fans out there, we'll finally hear from all of Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickley, and Masai Ujiri. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern is when they will all speak to the media. Brendan Little is on the mound for the Blue Jays. Back to the action we go. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. The Blue Jays call on Little here to try to go left on left with J.P. Crawford in a huge spot. Bases loaded for the Mariners, 2 outs, 4-4 game, bottom of the 8th in Seattle. The pitch to J.P. Crawford. High ball 1. Pinch runner over at first base after Rodriguez pinch hit. He is lifted from the game. Dylan Moore is at first. Crawford 1 for 4 today. Little hunched over, now sets at the belt. The lefty twists and deals. Called strike. Dropped the sinker right on the inside edge. Crawford moved his hands out of the way, but that just grabbed the zone.
That's a big strike call right there. You don't want to go to 2-0 with the bases loaded.
Crawford, a career .400 hitter with the bases loaded. 1-1. Inside that time, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Crawford looks pretty comfortable in that box right now.
A veteran at this point, started his career with Philadelphia, but a long time here in Seattle. 2-1. Bounced foul to the right side. All sinkers so far from the lefty, and it's 2-2. Little also has a cutter and a big knuckle curve. His 17th appearance of the year, a 4.76 earned run average. He pitched yesterday and got 2 outs, allowed 1 hit, and struck out 1. Bases loaded, 2 down, bottom of the 8th. 4-4 game. Little has the sign. He's set. The kick and the pitch. Outside, and we go to a full count. All 3 runners will get head starts. Dylan Moore at first, Dominic Canzone at second, and Josh Rojas at third. They've loaded the bases without a hit this inning, have the Mariners. The 3-2. Bounce foul to the right, and we'll do it again.
This is fun, isn't it?
For some. Do you like elevating your heart rate a little bit? But no, this has been a great series. 2 one-run games to start it, and now a 4-4 game that swung back and forth wildly. Mariners were up 4-1. George Springer tied it with a 3-run shot in the 7th. Another 3-2. Swing and a bouncing ball, backhanded by Schneider at second. He throws to first, and Little does the job. A big fist pump from the lefty, who strands the bases loaded and sends us to the 9th. 4-4 Blue Jays and Mariners. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Move like nobody's watching. And explore today's dance music on BPM. Your groundbreaking DJs and producers like the Chainsmokers, Tiesto, Calvin Harris, and more. Exclusive DJ sets and the biggest EDM tracks. SiriusXM BPM, Channel 52, and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
The final major championship of 2024 is coming, and you can hear all the action on SiriusXM.
Up toward the hole, has a chance, and it goes! Rory McIlroy with an overhand fist bump!
Coverage of the 152nd Open Championship begins Monday, July 15th, with play-by-play beginning Thursday, July 18th on Open Radio.
He's holding the big one! Brian Harman is the champion golfer of the year!
Hear the 2024 Open Championship on Channel 92 when you're in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, no matter where you are, you won't miss a pitch with the SiriusXM app. Hear every game all season long. Download the SiriusXM app and search Blue Jays.
And the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Top of the 9th inning in Seattle, and nothing to separate the Blue Jays and the Mariners right now. 4-4 is the score. Closer Andres Munoz enters the game for the Mariners as the Blue Jays send up the top of the order. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. George Springer bats. He has a 3-run homer today, and that's why it's a 4-4 game. Munoz, the righty, sets near his chin, and the first pitch is low. Ball 1. Munoz has been dominant this year in 35 games, an earned run average of 1.5. 1-0. Called strike. It'll be Horwitz and Guerrero hitting after Springer. Munoz dangling his right arm. Bushy beard and long hair for the righty. The 1-1. Foul tipped, 1-2. Nasty stuff for Munoz. A high 80s slider and a 4-seamer and sinker that both run into the high 90s, can hit triple digits. 1-2. Swing and a fly ball, left field, but Springer got under it. Dylan Moore's out there now after pinch running. He makes the catch, 1 out. Moore into left, Raley into center as Victor Robles was pinch hit for last inning.
That's such a tough pitch. That wasn't a great pitch from Munoz, but it was a backup slider that just basically stayed in on George Springer. George Springer did everything he could to get the hands through and get the barrel to the baseball. But again, it's such a tough pitch from Munoz.
Here's Spencer Horwitz now after Springer was retired. First pitch. Low ball 1. The beat goes on for Horwitz. 3 hits today. Batting average up to .333 now in his 26th game. 1-0. Swing and a hard liner to right, but it's hit at the backpedaling Canzone, who squeezes it 2 down. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. Tie ball game, 4-4, 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 9th. Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Munoz twists and deals. Vladdy takes up and in at 98. Lean back out of the way, 1-0.
I like this matchup right here. Power versus power.
This is best on best right now. The top Blue Jays hitter and the top reliever for the Mariners. Righty's 1-0. Low, ball 2. Good take by Vlad on a sinker that might have started high enough but broke down and out of the zone. Munoz picked up a 3-out save in game 1. Got Vlad to ground out to end that game. 2-0. Swing and a grounder hit to short, picked up by Crawford. He'll throw to first, and the Blue Jays go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 9th. Chad Green is getting loose, presumably to pitch for Toronto in the bottom of the 9th. It's 4-4 Blue Jays and Mariners. Toronto tries to force extra innings next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Springer started right, coming in, leaps and makes the catch full stretch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control. Jays and Mariners still tied at 4 as we head to the bottom of the 9th at T-Mobile Park. Don't forget, Jays Talk will follow, as it always does. Jesse Rubinoff is here at Baseball Control with me. He and I have the post-game show. We'll throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. You can text us anytime at 590-590, name and location. I see a whole bunch right now, so if you want to shoot us a text on the People's Text line, you are certainly welcome to do so now or after this ball game is in the books. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Jays and Mariners tied at 4 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Chad Green is on for the second straight day. The righty, who has a 1.64 earned run average in 22 games, will face 2.34 in the Mariners lineup, starting with Mitch Garver. First pitch, slider outside, 1-0. It's Mitch Garver, Cal Raleigh, and Luke Raley. All 3 have a career home run against Chad Green. 1-0. Slider at the top of the zone. Evens up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, we very quickly seen Chad Green turn into the guy that he was a couple years ago with the New York Yankees. His fastball is up. That breaking ball is sharper these days.
Throws another breaking ball, 3 straight to start the inning. Misses down and away, 2-1. Garver homered off Green last year when he wasn't at this form, 2-1. Another slider, and it's on the outside corner, 2-2. And Garver with 2 hits and a home run today. His 3-run shot in the 5th is a big reason it's 4-4. Green tucks the ball into his glove, chest high. The 2-2. High with the fastball. Garver lays off. Full count.
Mitch Garver was really close to swinging at that. That was a good fastball. Just a little bit too high. If it was closer to the strike zone, I'm sure Garver would have swung at that.
3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Slider at the knees. A perfect pitch from Green. There's one down.
Big first out right there. That was a strike. Garver didn't like the call, but that was a strike right at the bottom of the zone.
It doesn't get better than that.
It truly does not.
So 1 out now. Cal Raleigh coming up. Said all 3 guys due up this inning have a home run off Green. Raleigh hit his this year in the series in Toronto. First pitch is a fastball fouled back, 0-1. The caveat is that the Blue Jays were up 5-1. Green was pitching in the 9th inning. And, it looks like someone from the Mariners dugout, by the way, got tossed out of the game. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2.
It's always interesting to see a guy get tossed, argue on a call that is very clearly a strike.
I don't know if it was Garver, though, or if it was someone from inside the dugout. Either way. That's one where maybe you don't go look at the iPad. It's not going to make you feel better. 1 out, base is empty, 4-4. The 0-2 is poked down the left field line in the air. Marshall gives it a look, but it's in the seats.
I don't know what the fine is nowadays for getting thrown out or something like that, but
well,
it wasn't worth it. It was not worth it. That's all I'm saying.
The guy who got tossed can pay the fine. Julio Rodriguez, who got thrown out of the game, who has already been subbed in and then out of this game. 0-2 is a slider yanked on the ground. Dive at second by Schneider. It's off his glove and into right field. Davis Schneider went full stretch, but it just tipped the edge of his glove. And now the tying run is aboard. Or pardon me, the winning run is aboard for the Mariners. Raleigh on first. Was an attempt at a backdoor slider by Green. Wasn't a terrible pitch, but Raleigh got around on it. He's leading off first. The pitch to Luke Raley. Low ball 1. Raley, homer off Chad Green in his career, came yesterday. A solo shot in the 9th inning that turned it from a 5-3 Blue Jays lead to a 5-4 lead. And Green yesterday threw a season high 27 pitches. He's back out today. 4-4 game. Runner on first, 1 out. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Elevated fastball. It's 1-1.
Well, Luke Raley was hunting fastball right there. That fastball got in on the hands, but if it was out over the plate, this game might have been over.
Raley has 10 home runs this year, 26 RBIs. 1-1. Hit well left field. Racing back Varsho at the track. It's over his head and it bounces over the wall. And that actually might have saved the game for the Blue Jays. That'll be a ground rule double, which prevents Raleigh from trying to score. He has to stop at third. It's a double for Raley. Second and third, 1 out. Bottom of the 9th.
I think you're right. That was probably best case scenario helping out the Blue Jays. The fact that Cal Raleigh couldn't score on that ball. He's at third base right now and has to stay there, but this is getting hairy for Chad Green right now.
Blue Jays have a decision to make here. Do they want to pitch to tie France, which would be a right-on-right matchup for Green? Or do they want to walk tie France, which both sets up a double play and a force at the plate? What do you think?
Personally, I trust Chad Green, not to to get him out, but I trust Chad Green to pitch around somebody. So maybe nibble to all quadrants of the strike zone. Don't give Ty France anything that he can drive. But at the same time, Ty France just making contact could end this ball game.
They will pitch to France. Infield in, second and third, one out, the pitch. Called strike one. France is 1 for 4 today. A single in the second off Berrios, then a ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout. The 0-1. Just outside. France started to swing but holds back.
And the infield is in, so they're trying to cut this runoff.
Outfield is a little bit in as well, because if a fly ball is hit deep, that will end it. Next pitch is fought off to the right. A very nice fastball on the upper and inner corner of the zone. It's 1-2.
It's a big pitch right here. Nothing in the strike zone, nothing hittable. Bury something, maybe a fastball elevated, but nothing around that plate.
1-2. High fastball. Did he go? Appeal to first. And he did. Ty France strikes out on an appeal down to Stu Sherwater at first. And there are 2 down. Green got him to chase the elevated fastball.
Yeah, that was a perfectly placed fastball. One of those rising fastballs that Chad Green is so good at. And now this is a big at-bat right here for Josh Rojas and Chad Green.
And now they will intentionally walk Rojas, who's had a better year than the man behind him, Jorge Polanco. Also sets up more forces. Rojas doesn't matter. The only runner that matters is the guy on third, Cal Raleigh. Bases loaded for the Mariners for the second straight inning. 4-4 ball game, bottom of the ninth. And Jorge Polanco, the veteran brought over from Minnesota this season, will bat here with the game potentially on the line. The pitch. Fastball at the knees. Strike one.
That fastball right there, 97.
And again, Green threw 27 pitches yesterday. He's up to 18 now today. 0-1. Check swing on a high fastball. Appeal to third. He did not go around, says Dan Merzel. That evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Strikeout, single, double, strikeout, intentional walk this inning. Bases loaded, 2 down, 4-4, bottom 9. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Ran the fastball up to the top of the zone, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
I stay right there with that elevated fastball.
Polanco taps the plate, looks out at Green, who's set. Bases loaded, the 1-2. Swinging a liner, right field foul. That ball was smoked. Polanco turned on the elevated fastball that wasn't quite as high as the last one, but he was actually too far out in front of it.
Yeah, I think Chad Green missed his spot. Wanted that thing a little bit higher than he put it. That one was actually in the strike zone, and Jorge Polanco hit it well, just foul.
21 pitches now in the inning for Green. A 1-2 again. And this one's popped up. Foul third base side. Guerrero ranging back. Breaks to his left, makes the catch, and Chad Green escapes the jam. Free baseball in Seattle. We go to the 10th in a 4-4 game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
So, you want to be a loony dogger, eh? Are you the relish ringleader, 7th inning snacker, TikTok topper, or ketchup king? Every Tuesday, Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. You'll have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Then show the world your Looney Dog style. Because whether you're the home run hound or value virtuoso, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. So don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hey, this is Bo Bichette. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control. Jays and Mariners are tied at 4 as we head to the top of the 10th inning at T-Mobile Park. Extras in Seattle. Quick check to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Some scores from around Major League Baseball. Some finals. The Rangers crush the Rays 13-2. The Orioles double up the A's 6-3. And the Guardians edge the Giants 5-4. Blue Jays Baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Jays and M's tied at 4. Bottom 9, it's Ghost Runner time at T-Mobile Park. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Show. The automatic runner will be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at second base. New pitcher for the Mariners, Andres Munoz, the closer for Seattle, out of the game. Right-hander Colin Snyder will pitch here in the 10th inning, making just his 11th appearance of the season. 4-4 the score. Justin Turner leads off. Bo Bichette and Dalton Varsho also due up this inning. Snyder pitched in yesterday's game. Through an inning and a third, did give up an inherited run. Wasn't a run of his own, but gave up an RBI single to Vlad in the 5th. Righty's pitch to Justin Turner. Swing and a miss. Strike one. For Snyder, a 1.74 earned run average. 8 strikeouts to 2 walks in 10 1/3 innings. The 0-1. Swing and a pop-up right side. That will get out of play. It's 0-2. Colin Snyder has a sweeper, a cutter, a four-seamer, and a seldom-used sinker. Fastball in the low to mid-90s. He kicks and fires. And Turner spoils it again off to the right. That was the sweeper, the pitch he'll use the most. Blue Jays and Mariners each with 4 runs on 9 hits today. Each with big 3-run homers in the game. The 0-2. High. Turner lays off. For Snyder, this is his 3rd major league season. First with Seattle, over from Kansas City. 1-2. And again, fought off by Justin Turner. A fastball hit foul.
Yeah, good AB right here. The big AB. Nobody out. Runner on second. You have to score that guy from second in extra innings right now.
Blue Jays last scored in the 7th on Springer's 3-run shot. 1-2 again. And again hit foul, just as Turner often does. He sends that one deep down the right field line into the stands. Plenty of Blue Jays fans, and they haven't left yet. Last game for the Blue Jays in Seattle. It's 4-4. Guerrero on second, no outs, top of the 10th. Snyder waves off a sign, waves off another, now nods and sets. Glove just above his belt. He rocks and releases. And Turner will foul off another. 7 pitches already in this plate appearance.
He just looks so comfortable fouling that baseball off, fighting to stay alive, waiting to see a good pitch down the middle. Hasn't got one yet. Almost every single pitch so far has been away or off the plate away.
Turner crowds the plate so he can cover that area a little bit more than usual. 1-2 is popped up behind the plate and again into the seats.
And that was the mistake right there. Snyder left that slider right over the middle. Justin Turner unfortunately didn't get to it, but he fouled it right back.
Turner's fouled off each of the last 4 pitches. At a minimum, trying to move Guerrero to third. The 1-2. Up and in, almost hit Turner. Did it hit Turner? I don't believe so. But you could see a bunch of dirt flying that created almost a cloud of smoke around Turner. The dirt coming out of the glove of catcher Cal Raleigh.
Well, you can imagine just how shocked Justin Turner was that fastball was inside, up the head almost. Every single pitch before that had been outside.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Turner back in the box. Snyder looking in. The righty comes set. Here's the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Outside, full count. Turner's 37 walks are third on the team for the Blue Jays, trailing Springer at 38 and Vlad at 39. 3-2. Swing and another foul ball. 11 pitches already thrown by Snyder to the first batter he's faced this inning. He's thrown more pitches here in the 10th than Munoz threw in the 9th. Munoz only used 9 pitches to retire the Blue Jays in order. Another 3-2. Swing and a fly ball, shallow right center. It'll be called for by Canzone, the right fielder, who makes the catch close to the infield. Vlad can't go anywhere. 1 out.
Well, he got a couple mistakes during that at bat. That last one was a mistake from Snyder. A slider right down the middle. A pitch that Justin Turner could have drove, but just got underneath it a little bit and hit a weak fly ball.
So 1 out, and now Bo Bichette up. Bo's got a double, a walk, a run scored, a strikeout, and a flyout. Cal Raleigh's going to go give Snyder a breather and talk to him before Bichette hits. With runners in scoring position this year, Bichette is a .339 hitter. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is on second as the automatic runner.
Well, I imagine that they're going to be careful with him here. With 1 out, you have the open base. You have Dalton Varsho and Alejandro Kirk coming up next. So if I'm Snyder, I'm being very, very careful with Bo Bichette here.
First pitch to Bichette. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The sweeper was low of the zone, although I think in terms of east to west, he left it a little bit more over the plate than he meant to. Now the 0-1. Swing and a foul back, 0-2.
Bo was right on that sweeper right there. A good swing from Bo.
They continue to go away, away, away. Did it to Turner in his 12-pitch battle, and now doing it to Bichette. Ahead of Bo, 0-2. Snyder sets. The pitch. Low and away, ball 1.
It almost seems to me like Snyder might be a little bit uncomfortable coming inside the righties.
I mean, their Cal Raleigh set up over the lefty batter's box.
And then that one fastball that he did come in with to Turner was nowhere near the strike zone.
Next pitch is in on the hands. Loop by Bichette, shallow right. Canzone with a dive, makes the catch. Guerrero close to the bag, gets back to second. Nearly a flare for Bichette, who was jammed by that pitch. But a very nice play in right field by Dominic Canzone. A risky play, as if that ball gets down and bounces past him, it easily scores a run. But now 2 outs and still Vlad on second.
Yeah, that might have been a game-saving play right there from Dominic Canzone. Keeping Vlad at second base, getting the second out right there. Heck of a play.
So 2 outs. Guerrero hasn't moved from second as the automatic runner. And here's Dalton Varsho. 0 for 3 today with a sacrifice bunt. Right on left, the pitch. Called strike. Looked a little bit high. A good receive by Raleigh. 0-1. Right on left. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Upstairs. This is a big spot for Snyder, who's spent some time on the injured list and spent some time in AAA this year. This his 11th appearance of the season. 1-1. Inside, Varsho started to swing but holds back, and now Snyder has fallen behind him. 2 balls and a strike. Blue Jays have never led in this game. Went down 1-0 and tied it. Went down 4-1 and tied it. 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. One of the hotter hitters this series for the Blue Jays, Alejandro Kirk, is on deck. Flat on second, 2 down. 4-4, top of the 10th. Snyder sets and delivers. Swing and a pop-up, back of the plate and into the seats. Full count. Varsho taps the inside corner of the plate, brings the bat above his left shoulder. The 3-2. Chopped foul off to the right. Got a piece of that cutter in on the hands.
Yeah, that's a good pitch from Snyder right there. You're probably not going to get something over the heart of the plate here, an open base, that go-ahead run on second base. So if I'm Varsho, I'm gearing up for something down the middle, and if I don't get it, I take my walk.
Another 3-2. And that ball's lined. Right field, that's a base hit. Guerrero around third, they give him the wave. Throw from Canzone's offline. Guerrero scores. It's to the backstop, and Varsho's up to second. 5-4, the Blue Jays lead. A 10th inning go-ahead RBI single from Dalton Varsho. Well, he was keyed up for something down the middle. That four-seamer was right over the heart of the plate, and Varsho didn't miss it.
Yeah, you could see Cal Raleigh was set up above the strike zone. He wanted that fastball up, but Snyder left it right over the middle. It's a surprising miss right there, and then Varsho drills it. Actually, he didn't get all of it, but he got just enough of it to get it out to right field. A big run right there.
And now a chance to add more maybe as that wild throw allowed Varsho to move up to second. They're going to intentionally walk Alejandro Kirk and bring Davis Schneider up to the plate, who hasn't hit yet today. Came in defensively after Leo Jimenez, the starter at second, was pinch run for by Stuart Baroa. And they're going to pinch run for Alejandro Kirk here. Danny Jansen is coming into the game, so the day is over for Kirk. First and second for the Blue Jays. 2 outs, 5-4 Toronto. Top of the 10th. Pete Woodworth on the mound talking to Colin Snyder before Davis Schneider hits.
Sometimes I don't like the intentional walk. Just pitch around him. See if he gets himself out.
Do you think maybe it changes with a less experienced guy like Snyder? The trust may not be there.
Probably. But I still don't love it.
It's fair. Schneider, a .212 hitter on the season. 10 homers, 35 RBIs. Comes up with Varsho on second and Jansen on first. The first pitch is called strike one. Blue Jays have knocked in the automatic runner, but you want to score 2 if you're the team hitting first ideally. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2. Toronto doesn't add on. The tying run will be in scoring position to start the bottom of the 10th. 0-2 pitch. No, it's going to be the inside move. That fooled me, but not Dalton Varsho, who gets back to second.
Well, good thing you're not standing out on second base.
I'd be caught dead in the water. 2 on, 2 out, 2 strikes on Schneider. The pitch from Snyder. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets him with a fastball, and that'll do it for the top of the 10th. The Blue Jays score 1. An RBI single by Dalton Varsho knocks in Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Toronto takes a 5-4 lead to the bottom of the 10th. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! The one that's listening to the Blue Jays baseball game with us. Please check and see if you've subscribed. If you haven't yet, please, help us. Let's make this sub counter go crazy. Make this sub counter go up, and let's bring more people into this awesome Toronto sports community. Thanks for being here during this Blue Jays game. If you're a Blue Jays fan, we're going to pick it. We're going to pick it up. We're going to turn it around this season. Let's go, Blue Jays, and everybody else that's here, welcome. Good luck to your team, but God, our Jays need some wins. Back to the baseball. Cheers, everybody.
And the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control. Jays lead the Mariners 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the 10th inning at T-Mobile Park. Dalton Varsho with the RBI single to give the Jays the lead. Don't forget, we do have Jays Talk tonight. Jesse Rubinoff and I have the post-game show. We'll throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out, and you can text us anytime at 590-590. Name and location, please. The People's Text line is always open. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Once again, the Jays lead the Mariners 5-4 as we head to bottom 10 in Seattle. Here's Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Yenesis Cabrera is on for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the 10th inning. Toronto with a 5-4 lead after Dalton Varsho's RBI single. Mariners need 1 to tie, 2 to win. They'll start with Jorge Polanco as the automatic runner on second base. Dominic Canzone, Dylan Moore, and J.P. Crawford are scheduled to hit in this inning, but Canzone is lifted to start the frame. The lefty swinger is out, and right-handed hitter Mitch Haniger is in. Cabrera's pitch. Fastball called outside, 1-0. Haniger started yesterday and hit a 3-run homer in the 8th inning. Batting .210 on the year. Inside move. Cabrera looks at second but does not throw over on Polanco.
And surprisingly, he's only hitting .152 against left-handed pitching,
which at times in his career was his bread and butter. This is a guy with a 30-homer season, an all-star appearance. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Backdoor cutter by Cabrera to even up the count. What this pinch hit really did signal is that they're not going to try to manufacture this run with a bunt. Haniger is not a bunter. He's a power hitter. 1-1. Fastball called low. 2-1. And I think in a challenge system world, pardon me, that was the change, but still, I think in an automatic strike zone world, that's probably 3 strikes thrown in this at-bat, but instead it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Cabrera sets and delivers. That one definitely low with the change. 3-1. Base open at first, but if you walk Haniger, you put the winning run on base.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, but you also don't want to throw a cookie right here either.
Haniger represents the winning run. 3-1 pitch. Backdoor cutter called strike 2. Haniger was ready to stroll down to first. He backpedals back into the box. Danny Jansen is now catching, by the way. He pinch ran for Alejandro Kirk in the top of the 10th. 5-4 Blue Jays. Jorge Polanco on second base. Nobody out. Bottom of the 10th. I'll look at Polanco. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another cutter, and it gets Haniger for the first out of the bottom of the 10th.
Big strikeout right there for Yenesis Cabrera, fighting back, and then in that at-bat, throwing a good slider. Sorry, that was a cutter at the bottom of the strike zone at 88 miles an hour. Now you go to work.
They call it a cutter, but it moves like a slider. For his mid-90s fastball, that cutter's in the high 80s. Here's Dylan Moore. Left on right, the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Moore batting for the first time in this game. He pinch ran in the 8th inning and took over in left field. 209 batter, 8 homers. Got to keep your eye on Polanco, too, who's taking some big shuffles off second on the last pitch. 1-0. Swing and a hot shot to third off the chest of Guerrero on a bounce, and there's no play. That was stung, but Guerrero couldn't corral it. And now runners on first and second, still only 1 out.
The most impressive thing right there, and this shows his baseball IQ, he blocked that baseball and he ran to pick it up and didn't force the throw to first base. A lot of inexperienced third basemen, infielders will try to force that throw. He just picked that ball up, put it in his back pocket, and now they're moving on to the next hitter.
They do give Vlad an error at third, his first error at third base this year. But getting in front of that ball, like you mentioned, prevents a guy from scoring at second. First and second now, 1 out. 5-4 Blue Jays, bottom 10. Left on left, the pitch to J.P. Crawford from Genesis Cabrera. Fastball inside. Cabrera sports a high 3s earned run average in 36 games. 1 save this year, 4 in his career. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Threw the cutter up and in. And that got a whiff from J.P. Crawford. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Crawford came up in the 8th inning with the bases loaded in a tie game and grounded out to end the frame and strand the runners. 1-1. Runners going. Pitch is low. Throw to third. Not in time. Polanco is safe. He stumbled off the bag. Guerrero bumped into him. But they ruled that he was pushed off the bag, so that'll be a successful double steal. Polanco steals third. Moore steals second, and that makes things more precarious for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 10th.
But now it opens up that base at first base, so you can be a little bit more careful with Crawford right now. You can try to strike him out, and if you don't strike him out, you just walk him because that base is open.
I think John Schneider is going out to ask potentially about that play at third. It didn't look like a ton of contact from Vlad other than the tag, but he's talking with 3 of the 4 umpires right now. And I think one thing they might be asking, Polanco popped up in his slide. He might have been off the base before he fell over.
Toronto is challenging that the runner was out before being pushed off the base.
And that is what they're looking at. Polanco, potentially in his pop-up, had one of his feet come off the bag. You may as well challenge in a spot like this. They're taking a look.
I don't think his toe ever came off the bag. I think that's what they're going to be looking at, that right toe, and I don't think it ever came off the bag. What do you think?
I don't think so either, but it's hard to tell, and as I apologize for repeating this a lot, they do have angles and looks. Like we've had a tough hit rate recently on guessing some plays. They have angles and looks that we just don't have in New York. Ball on the field is safe. If it stands or is confirmed, it'll be second and third, 1 out. If it's overturned, it would be 2 down and a runner on second. This could drastically change the inning and the game.
I truly don't think it'll be overturned, but if it is overturned, again, you have that open base.
I thought there was 1 second where his right toe might have come off, but his left foot might have still been on the bag.
We're getting a good look right now.
And on a close-up look, it doesn't look like it came off.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think at this point we're just begging.
They're taking a long look at it, though.
And again, the call on the field is safe, so there has to be definitive evidence for them to overturn this call.
Conversation right now still going on between the umpires and New York.
I've seen that close-up replay twice now. It just doesn't look to me like that toe ever comes off the base. I know that's what they're looking at.
They just froze it, though. I think it's hard. Maybe for a fraction of a second, his right foot came off, and his left foot was actually on Guerrero's left foot. But I'm not sure that it's nearly enough. I'm not even sure it happened, let alone that it's near enough to overturn. But they are certainly doing their due diligence with this call.
Yeah, this is taking a long time.
It was a double steal with J.P. Crawford at the plate. First and second has turned into second and third. Only 1 out. If it stands or is confirmed, it's still second and third, 1 out. If it's overturned, it's 2 down and only a runner on second base. Needless to say, if this stands or is confirmed, a single could win this game. This starts to get a little bit testy for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, if this stands, if runners on second and third stay and only one out as Genesis Cabrera warms up a little bit, you have to be careful with J.P. Crawford. You have to kind of nibble around the strike zone. Don't throw him anything that he can hit.
I believe we're about to get a ruling.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Toronto will lose their challenge.
You get a challenge for each extra inning. The Blue Jays lose their challenge. Stands means that they couldn't confirm it either way. And so it is a double steal. It is second and third. It's a 2-1 count on Crawford. One out, and the infield has to come in. The outfield won't move in as much as they did during the first 9 innings because a sac fly would tie the game, not win it. Left on left, the 2-1 from Cabrera. Swing and a pop-up, third base side foul. Guerrero shading his eyes from the sun. On the side warning track, makes a two-handed catch. There are 2 down. Couldn't get the out in the replay room, so they do it on the field on the next pitch. And now the Mariners on their last chance, but still a single could win the game for Seattle. It's Dylan Moore on second, who's pretty speedy. Jorge Polanco on third, and Mitch Garver to the plate, who's 2 for 5 today, including the 3-run homer. 5-4 Blue Jays, bottom of the 10th. Left on right, the pitch. Called, strike one.
And the most important thing now is that you have strike one you can expand. Mitch Garver has 92 strikeouts this year. He has a high strikeout rate, so you can expand on him and get him to swing and miss.
Struck out in his last at-bat in the 9th. 0-1. Low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera struck out Mitch Haniger to start this inning. But then Dylan Moore reached on an error at third. A double steal and then a pop-up in foul territory. Second and third, 2 outs. 5-4 Blue Jays. 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, blocked off the chest by Jansen, who is one of the best in the business on plays like that. He keeps the runners at bay and keeps the 5-4 Blue Jay lead. And Jansen just off the bench, pinch running for Kirk in the top of the 10th. After getting ahead, Cabrera has fallen behind 2-1 to Garver. The lefty kicks and fires. Called strike 2. Perfect backdoor cutter. And the Mariners are down to their final strike. Blue Jays fans getting loud at T-Mobile Park. A single could win it for Seattle. One more strike would win it for the Blue Jays. With 2 on and 2 out. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. First base is open, but Cal Raleigh looms on deck. Cabrera walks back up the hill. He's set with 2 outs. The 3-2. Fouled off. Garver just got a piece of it, bounced it back to the brick backstop. And they'll do it again at 3-2. Cabrera tugs on the brim of his cap twice. Glove at his chest, has the ball at his hip, and now comes set. Another 3-2. Down and in, ball 4. That's a walk. The bases are loaded.
I don't mind that. I know that Cal Raleigh's coming up right now, but I don't mind that walk there. You have runners on second and third. Those are 2 big runs. And Mitch Garver has already shown today that if you hang something, he'll hit it pretty well. So I don't mind that pitch right there. Move on to the next one.
Switch hitter Raleigh is turned around right for the first time today. 2 for 5 on the day. All from the left side. Bases loaded, 2 down. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Pulled the string with the changeup. This is the 3rd inning in a row that the Mariners have loaded the bases. Polanco on third's the tying run. Moore on second is the winning run. 0-1 pitch. Low. Doubled up on the changeup, and this time Raleigh was wise to it. Thin margins have decided this series. 1-run games each of the last 2 days. 5-4 Blue Jays, 2 outs, bottom 10. And the 1-1. Swing and a fly ball. Center field. Going back, Kiermaier on the track. Reaches up and makes the catch. The Blue Jays come back from down 4-1. Force extras. Dalton Varsho knocks in the eventual winning run. Genesis Cabrera picks up his second save of the season, and the Blue Jays pen strands the bases loaded for the third inning in a row to win the game.
Well, on any other day, that fly ball to Kevin Kiermaier would have been a routine fly ball, but that sun was right in his eyes. You could see him shading with his glove, shading his eyes, and he had a tough time out there, but comes up with the catch. And the Blue Jays win this series.
Their first series win since June 14th to 16th against Cleveland. Toronto dropped game 1, but bounces back for wins in game 2 and 3 in the home of the Mariners. For Toronto, a series win, their first in 4 tries in Seattle. Blue Jays win 5-4 in extras. We'll take a quick step aside and wrap this one up on the other side. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This has been Major League Baseball play-by-play on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app. Why do I love calling this game?
Calling this game.
Calling this game.
Calling this game.
Why do I love calling this game? It's because I get a chance to bring some joy into people's lives.
Anything can happen on a baseball field.
We've got a new game.
It's perfectly unscripted theater.
Everybody on their feet. Because you never know what you're going to see on a given day.
It is bedlam in the bank as Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top.
There's just something about baseball on the radio.
Something about the way wood hits leather.
A swing and a drive to deep left center.
The way leather hits dirt.
And he made a play. Oh, my.
The way a deep fly ball sounds like it's about to change history.
Hey Insiders, thanks for joining us for another Toronto Blue Jays game. Please make sure you've hit that like button down below. Click out of the chat for a second, hit that like button, and help this stream grow and get more Blue Jays fans here to hang out with us live during the game. This community is absolutely insane. It has grown like crazy, and I know that it will only continue to grow because of what you guys do as well as what I'm doing. So thank you so much. Please share this out to your friends. Please make sure that like is clicked, and let's get back to the baseball. Let's go Blue Jays. Finish strong.
Of summer. This is Major League Baseball on the radio.
Right now on SiriusXM.
All rise.
Coming in 5.
Get ready to play.
4.
Get up. Get up.
3.
Can you believe it? Put your seatbelt on.
Wow. Talk about the game and all the stories on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the SiriusXM app.
PM Seattle Mariners take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Mariners on Sirius 111, XM 185, and Internet 864. Jays on Internet 868. 4:10 p.m. LA Dodgers take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Dodgers on Sirius and XM channels 89, Internet 853. Brewers on Internet 855. Spanish feed on Internet 871. 7:10 p.m. New York Yankees take on the Boston Red Sox. Yankees on Sirius 208, XM 175, and Internet 858. Red Sox on Internet 843. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 89. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM MLB schedule for Sunday, July the 7th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In Major League Baseball, 1:35 p.m. Atlanta Braves take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Braves on Sirius 208, XM 175, and Internet 841. Phillies on Internet 860. 1:35 p.m. Washington Nationals take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Nationals on Sirius 211, XM 178, and Internet 869. Cardinals on Internet 865. Internet 857. 1:40 p.m. Cleveland Guardians taking the Giants. Guardians on Sirius 119, XM 180, and Internet 847. Giants on Internet 863.
Boy, this kind of game you got to put in your bag, man. You got to have this.
Unfortunately, Houston lost again tonight, so the Mariners don't lose any ground, but
that's good
they're missing a golden opportunity to gain some ground. And now it's this is it for the home before the All-Star break, and they hit the road, and we'll see if they can get things together against San Diego and the Angels. Needless to say, the Mariners would love to finish the first half on a strong note because you're facing Houston the first 3 out of the break.
Correct. And, you go to San Diego. San Diego's playing really good ball, particularly at home. A lot of guys at Profar's having a great year. Manning comes in with some nice pitching. He's been decent. I think they've swung their bat pretty well. Seems like every night I watch highlights, somebody's going yard or getting a big knock. So this is going to be a tough 2 games.
Yeah, same situation. Got to get the bats going. Cut down on the strikeouts, put the ball in play. And the Mariners had golden opportunities time and time again and just didn't cash in.
Mariners lose to the Blue Jays 5-4 the final in 10 innings. We'll come back. We got more to come right after this.
Baseball fans, Muckleshoot Casino Resort is always a home run. With the best games, the best restaurants, and the best rooms and luxury suites. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Bigger, better, and still the best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot. Did you know there's a revolutionary pediatric cancer treatment called immunotherapy going on at Seattle Children's Hospital? Kids with cancer know that true strength comes from within. And with immunotherapy, they can fight cancer from the inside out with their own superpower, their immune systems. However, pediatric cancer research and trials are severely underfunded. G. Scott here asking you to join the fight for all kid kind. Next time you're at Safeway checkout, please choose to make a donation. Thank you for becoming an immuno hero.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Hey Mariners fans, KeyBank wants to meet you in that I need new Mariners gear moment. When you open a qualified checking account and meet certain requirements, you can receive an official Mariners KeyBank fan kit, which includes a Seattle Mariners jersey and other team merchandise, so you can rep your favorite team all season long. Don't miss out. This special offer ends October 25th, 2024. To get started, visit key.com/Mariners or a KeyBank branch near you. Geographic restrictions may apply. KeyBank member FDIC.
If it plays out the way that you're talking about, then it's going to be another general manager that's fielding those calls.
So be it.
Daryl Moore is going to be out of there.
So be it.
If this doesn't work out, if it plays out the way that you're talking about, where the Philadelphia 76ers are one and done in the postseason, they get to round one, they get bounced. If it ends up looking like that, then Daryl Moore is going to be out of there.
But CC,
how much runway do you give him as the general manager?
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you.
Why the hell would you keep him around?
I agree. But, think about what I'm saying. When you're saying if this happens. I'm saying if the Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid, who's awesome, right? Don't get it twisted. This is not about him not being great.
He's an MVP.
He's an MVP. I would take him on my team any day of the week. So would you. That's not what it is. It's about all of the losing and the losing culture and the injuries culminating in no one being able to get him over the hump. So all I'm suggesting is if the Philadelphia 76ers, with the 5th version of his co-star this year, do exactly what the Philadelphia 76ers have done every year, which is not make the conference finals, it's over. That's it. I'm done.
And you're saddled with the Paul George contract for 3 more years.
We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. We're on Sportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. Sportsmanlike.
I can see the attendant looking how to spell Bentley.
Honda may be easier.
Ford. I'm not trying to put it out there, but I played 11 years in the National Football League. I ain't played for nothing.
Unsportsmanlike. More coming up next.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
I mean to fight this war and win it.
The biggest show on TV is back. HBO's House of the Dragon. Only available on Crave.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
Don't miss the global phenomenon critics call thrilling and endlessly captivating.
The path to victory now is one of violence.
HBO's original House of the Dragon. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
The Formula One exhibition is extending its stay in Toronto. Get up close to F1 cars and immerse yourself with exclusive films, rare artifacts, and interactive exhibits. With contributions from F1 teams and legends, plus your chance to race an F1 simulator. The Formula One exhibition Toronto presented by TSN is now open until September. Get your tickets today at f1exhibition.ca.
Okay, so right now we don't have enough bedrooms.
Needs a real estate person.
And we're expecting our first child.
And party supplies.
We know it's a boy.
A toy store.
They say everything changes with kids.